Hello, hello. Hey, worry. So happy Wednesday. I had to think about that for a second. I did a decent amount of stuff yesterday. I was kind of talking about. Hang on one second. I think I accidentally deleted something. I did. Give me one sec. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday I was talking about AI usage and how it's been impacting me. So just to kind of sum up for anyone who didn't hear any of the other conversations. So for Skeleseller, I used AI almost solely for smart autocomplete. You type something like, gd.print, and it would type out like the variable is colon plus var, something like that. Where it's like, yeah, this is what I would have written anyway. It's not creative. It's not interesting. So now for Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, I'm using it as an agent more and more. And part of the reason why is I'm paying $20 a month for Claude, and like I want to get my usage out of it. So yesterday I saw that I had, I don't know, like 50% of the weekly usage, or not even that much. I don't know how much it was. Here's how much I think I ended up with though. Let's see. I ended up using 70%. And part of the reason why is I was trying to maximize all of the windows that I had access to. So I saw this and I was like, all right, let me do some basic work, right? So I'll show some of the things that I did that I would not have done otherwise. But like, it is work still to do this. It's just easier work. Hey, Method, beloved David Sheffelton, thanks for the resub. 2.5-year current streak, almost 4 years full. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So yeah, we had this title screen. One of the things that I added, so this was a great idea from Skeleseller. I recommend doing this for any video game you ever make, which is put a version number on the title screen and make it clickable. And in this particular case, I added a couple of buttons here: open logs folder and open save folder. We don't actually have saves, so this just opens the same folder here anyway. But eventually they'll probably be in this directory. So cool, okay, that was something AI did. Another thing that I wanted that I hadn't done yet is make a cheat menu. Oh, by the way, I found out I could just connect this via Bluetooth. The game looks really choppy right now because I was testing something out. That's unrelated. But yeah, if I press in the right stick, it now opens up the cheat menu. And I can do anything here like switch to the farming game, for example. And then speed up the whole game. And then cut out of this dialogue. And then lower the game. And then set the movement speed faster if I want. Like switch back to a different game now. Like this menu, it's just a bunch of buttons. And they just need to run a function. But like, that's something that, yeah, now AI just did for me. And it's all because I wanted to use my quota. So what I was talking about is this is like a renaissance for these low priority tasks or like low creativity tasks, like add a cheat menu, add a button on the title screen that opens a folder. I don't even know what else I did. I probably did some other stuff here too. And I like that I don't need to do this stuff. And I feel like the $20 a month is actually pretty sufficient for allowing me to do that. You know, at the end of me intentionally trying to use my sessions, I only got to 70% usage. And this is 1 week. So that's like $5 per week. I think that's pretty good. I mean, getting a cheat menu for even if I paid $5 to get that done, it's like, well, now it's just done. Now I can add to it. Hey, Free Technic, hey, Smash. Even the actual real cheats menu. Yeah. So like before I would have had to set this up through code. And yeah, if I'm like, oh, let me go to the farming game, I would need to do this and go to flow control flags and then change this to farming, rebuild, rerun. Now, yeah, I can just switch. And sure, not all of these things work totally perfectly. Like if I go into this area, then try to go back to the fall, it's not going to work, I think. But like, that's okay. Yeah, this looks super busted now. Yeah. In fact, I don't even know where we are right now. Oh, I see. Yeah, interesting. Okay, it like kind of sort of worked. But yeah, if some of that stuff broke, that's fine. It's just cheats. But yeah, like this is pretty nice to have. Hey, Faceless Voice. I've tested multiple agents like Gemini. No, I've just been using Claude right now. I only spent money on Claude. And honestly, it's been doing such a good job that I don't really think I need to even try other ones. I don't think anything is lacking. And the only thing that I think is kind of limiting is the 5-hour limit. That one's sometimes tough. And there's some kind of gaming that I feel I have to do with it. And I don't like this idea, but like right now it is about 8 a.m. And typically, I don't know what'll happen today because I I do want to take it easy, which is why I'm just chatting right now instead of actually working. But typically I'd stream for maybe 6 hours over the course of 7 hours. So this is 2 5-hour windows. It's greater than 5, so it has to be at least 2. But you could actually have it be 3, right? You could have it so that the end of one of the windows is at like your hour 0 mark, and then there's a 5-hour window here, and then there's the start of another window that doesn't close, so that this is hour 7 by the time you're done. That's the kind of gaming I'm talking about here, where if it's like, oh, well, my weekly quota is going to reset, it makes sense for me to, as soon as I wake up, like run a query just so it kicks off a 5-hour window. I don't like that idea. I feel like that I get why this is there. It's for business reasons. It's not for like well, it is kind of for usability, I guess, because they're constrained on their compute resources, but it's not really like a consumer friendly thing, I'd say. So yeah, it's interesting seeing how this stuff is working. And now I think there are certain tasks that I would like give to AI. Like this, for example. You can pause on the title screen. We should just cut this out. Had no idea those limits. Yeah, those limits are like the defining. Hang on a second. I can show you. Actually, I'll just show you on the web page because this is restarting right now. What is going on? Oh, it just restarted that. Okay, got it. Yes, if I got a usage over here. So here's what you can see. So you have your weekly limit. You have your 5-hour limit. So like I kicked off a query 18 minutes ago that I didn't really need just so I could open this window up. And yeah, it's kind of a shame to even have to do that. Anyway, today's going to be a lot about polish. And one of the big things we're going to do is start by merging one of Dark's PRs. So he made a PR for the town. This is looking very nice. So we're going to pull this in. It's number 4. PR checkout 4. No repo has been set. What? I don't know what set default even does. What is this? Oh, I see. Because I have 2 remotes now. All right, that's fine. Yeah, nice. Okay, that should work. I made the dock really tiny. I don't know if you can see these icons, because what I want to try switching to is just using the alt tab menu to go to different apps. And yeah, we'll see. Just trying to change my workflow a little bit. All right, so let's go load this up. I like to go into these things like semi-blind and just test things out at first and then look at the code. Oh, I should probably fix... Well, maybe I don't need to. Wait a second. What's going on right now? No, yeah, everything's fine. We just don't have the cheat menu. Okay, so then we need to set this to the farming game. And I need to set this to free play after Fever Dream, I guess. Yeah, let's try that. Hey, Goose. Good morning. And is this just a UID problem? Yeah, well, let's just ignore that. The town looks great. Yeah, I want to see it in the game. So let's go try this out. Hey, Rod. And I don't think I said... No, I did say hi to each other. Yeah. All right, so I think if we try to go over there, it's going to stop us. I don't remember. I don't know if this is in or not. Let's see. No, it's not in. Okay. Wow. Oh, I gotta write a note. This has nothing to do with this, but let me write this down. Tutorial man mentions Melissa or someone as a joke. They should probably mention NPC number 7. Yeah. So you should be able to just dig anywhere. Or you cannot. I just triggered the dialogue and they're walking through the trees. We'll figure that out later. Oh, there's no skipping through this, is there? No, it's gonna take a long time. I'm not gonna restart this, but this is why having a cheat menu is really important. Oh, man. It's almost done. Okay, great. So yeah, why can't you dig here? You can dig here. We should probably make it so you can dig up the higher layers too. Yeah, I think it should dig every layer up. Make it so that you can dig up every layer, not just the ground layer. It would null out higher layers. Yeah. Oh, you can plant seeds on the brick. Yeah, that's why we need to null this out. And we need some like stepping on stone sound. Need a sound for stepping on stones, which means we would need to query a higher layer to know which tile is showing. Well, so this is, yeah, this is the town. This is what Dark worked on. We don't have the farm, the community center, or I guess the inside of the house. Yeah, no, I think this is great. Oh, that's a problem. Can walk behind flowers. We could just give them collision. Dark said there was a secret somewhere. I don't know what the secret is. What happens if you dig here? Okay. Yeah, I probably should have started this by increasing my movement speed. Let's walk over this way. I also should see if we can get a shader to move trees around. Is there something in here? Maybe this is the secret? Looks pretty good. Imagine if we dig in here. Okay. Oh, is it this skull? I wonder if it's the skull. Alright, then we should be able to walk off the top. That'll bring us to the community center. Actually, I guess you could just enter the community center from the town. Yeah, okay. And then I gotta set the camera boundaries. So in general, I think it's good. Let me leave this open, actually. I'm not gonna close this out. Make sure to block the camera from moving. So now let's read the rest of this. Hope I didn't make a mess of this one. This only adds the town graphics. Notice that NPCs have quite big collision. They can block your path. I guess it's just a matter of their placement. The collision is actually not for walking into them. Their static body is actually really tiny. Yeah. Some objects have collision too. Bottom center of trees, bushes. There's a secret. Feel free to remove it. I think he's talking about the skull. I don't know, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what secret he's talking about. So, okay, let's go and finish reviewing the scenes and then leave comments, then merge. All right, so let's go review everything. Close out of this. Don't save, don't save. Town. So it's pretty much just this. Oh, secret. Here we go. What is this? Is it that? Let me just turn off everything else. Can you do that? Yeah, nice. Okay. What is secret 2? Oh, it is the skull. Okay. Okay. Well, I don't mind that it's there. There shouldn't be anything else here that's special. Yeah, there shouldn't be anything else that's special. These are all accessed as unique children. I don't think that's necessary. Well, did any scripts even change? Files changed 15. No, no scripts, just pings. Yeah. And then farm environment before dream also changed. What changed here? Oh, maybe just using a different TRES file? Yeah. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I think this is pretty reasonable. I think we just merge this. And then I'll just make some changes afterward. So scene looks good. Okay, so some comments. This looks great. Some general comments. So I made a connector off the top of the north end of town to go to the community center without realizing that we could just put the community center directly in the town. It would be a building that you enter that takes you to a new scene. So there's that. There are, what else? There are some minor things I don't think are really worth commenting on, like this, that we got to fix the sort order of flowers and stuff, but I can do that. The Y sort order of flowers is a bit strange, but I can fix this myself. Anything else? I don't think so. Yeah. And we'll need to change the sidekick animation. Change sidekick animation since they just slide out of the house. Atomic? Okay. And then what was the other thing? Oh yeah, digging should probably remove every layer above the ground. I can do that too. All right, let's go merge this. So now we'll have everything all on one branch. So this is done. This is done. This is usable. Let's switch back. Local changes. What local changes? I didn't do anything. Oh, a UID file got changed? Ugh. All right, well, just delete that, I guess. And this can be deleted too. All right, so we will need to fix that as well. That should be obvious. Fix UID file warning. All right, so let's start with this one. Make sure to block the camera from moving. Let's go test that out. So we want to go directly into the farming game. I want to do this. Yeah, perfect. Visiting another country for vacation? No. No, I'm just visiting my family. All right, so we've got broken physics interpolation. I should probably fix that. Set movement speed to 2x. Oh, it's already working. Oh, nice. So if I walk back over there, before we go to town, use your sickle to harvest a few strawberries. There are no strawberries. What happened here? That's funny. Yeah, that's funny. What's going on? Set the town. And then when you go from town, the tutorial's broken. It's happening. Set current zone, farm zone. Okay, this is all looking good so far. Now something here tells us whether we're supposed to use the after dream or before dream one. Here, this is wrong. Save system. It should be set. It should be set when we have the sidekick thing. Where's that? Farm game, sidekick. Yeah, right there. Must be a race condition. Let's find out what's going wrong here. Oh. I wonder if this ever gets called again after this. It must, right? Maybe we don't initialize it again. Oh boy. All right, so we set this. Now what? When you leave, it doesn't do anything? Oh man. Arisius. Slow and steady wins the race condition. I like it. So the farm zone gets initialized before we do this. And then it never changes. So this needs to be set before you. Okay, yeah. So I've got some bad code going on here. This gets called after initializing the zones, but we need to call part of it before initializing the zones. Or no, wait, we can't initialize the zones like this. What is going on here? I want this one. Yeah, load environment. This is the problem. We could call load environment if you cheated. On the farm zone, I mean, it's the simplest possible thing. It's just not great. And it might load in 2 of these. What does this do? Yeah, it'll add 2 children there. I don't want that. Okay, well, I'm probably going to hack my way through this for right now. So if environment node get child count is greater than 0, then remove the first child. And then in farm game. Okay, why is this happening? If I type farm game, it matches these 2 files more than it matches this one. Is it because game is in the directory? So if I type farm game, okay, yeah. Man, I'd like it to match based on name first and then directory. Because, yeah, it's unfortunate that I type farm game and farm environment shows up first. I wonder what the easiest way to fix that is. Maybe another G? Yeah. Farm G game. Hey, Pickle. All right, so an initialized starting state. We do all of this stuff. I guess as long as it's not play normally. Or how about this? If oh no, this gets triggered even. This gets triggered somewhere else, right? Yeah. Yeah. This isn't good. I'm just debating on whether I should like properly fix this or whether I should just hack something together. Yeah, all right, here's what I'm going to do. If this thing is not equal to play normally, then farm zone dot load environment, and then just make this public. Okay. Schrodinger's, thank you for the sub. Happy 20 months. Oh man, so nice not having a cord coming out of this controller now. All right, so now it's just going to reload afterward. So if I step off the screen, yeah, we have strawberries now. And why'd I get strawberries? I wanted to do this for some reason. Oh yeah, so that I could go back into town. Right, so I try going over here. Use your sickle to harvest a few strawberries. Yep, nice. All right, well, now we have the strawberries. Great. That was only a waste of time because that wasn't really super important. Oh, and Godot quit. That's nice. Whoops. Okay, I'll check that in. So this is already done. Yeah. Now this needs to be checked in. This is fine. This is fine. This is, I should probably write, this is just a hack. It's just a hack for when you cheat past the first time on the farm. We need to update the environment in the farm zone. Okay. Farm zone, this is now public. We can potentially remove it. And that's that. So fixed issue with hacking, with skipping the farming intro. If you put yourself into the post-dream farm, wait a second, would this happen this way? Yeah, I think there'd be a problem. The environment wouldn't be correct. Now we force it to be the one with strawberries. Okay. Make it so you can dig up every layer, not just the ground layer. Yeah. Let's go do this. So in the town scene, or I guess inside of farm environment, because that's what these things inherit from, right? I believe so. Yeah, farm environment. So in farm environment, we want to cut out everything on higher layers except the seed layer. Where is shoveled tile? There's just set tile? That shouldn't be the case. This is probably called directly from farming game, isn't it? Yep. Okay, well, I think this is a mistake. Yeah, I think this is a mistake. I think we should just call current zone environment dot shovel tile. Tile position. Yeah. And then just copy paste everything from over here. There we go. Okay, delete all that. Delete all the current zone stuff. Delete the tile position. All right, so that's a little bit better. No, wait, why is this calling shovel tile? Because I accidentally, yeah, I'll have that in there. So this sets it on the lowest. This sets it on the ground layer. And we need to set it on like everything. So where's the path? It's not, it's in terrain. Okay. Could we have just made that ground? Probably not. I want you to even be able to dig up the lamps. Are these one tile? I'm not sure how this is going to work. Let's just try something out. All right, so let's do this. So for each, I'm going to make this just as sloppy as possible right now and just get this working quickly. So tile map layer, layer in, do we have this is the environment, I guess. So in get children of type tile map layer. All right, like I said, this is going to be pretty hacky. Just going to try this out for now. So if the layer is equal to the ground layer or the seed layer, or maybe that's it, then just continue. Otherwise, also set the tile on this particular layer, which means we should take in a layer here. Source ID -1. And then what's that tile? I think the Alice chords are unnecessary as long as we set -1. Apparently even that's unnecessary. That's the default. It is. Okay. Yeah, so let's try this out. Let's see what happens. This is probably going to look very silly, but it's kind of the goal for it to look a little bit silly. So if I just dig in this brick now, it does nothing. Nothing whatsoever because I typed the wrong thing here. This is supposed to be a layer. It's still not working though. What's going wrong there? Let's set a breakpoint here and go back to the game. Oh, whoops. Oh my God. I don't know how I messed this up. Yeah. There. That's what I meant to do. Wait, the continue is gone. Oh, I see. It's deleting it. Yeah, nice. Okay, so what happens when you dig up a lamp? You can dig up trees too. You cannot dig up that little bit of grass though. Interesting. It's probably because there's one tile in the middle here. Yeah. You can't dig up the bush either? No, you can. Hey, Glasgow. When I switch to Claude, I like to watch a VOD for your initial usage impressions. I think where is this? Oh, I didn't write the exact date, but I think it was 2 weeks ago, but it was on a Sunday. And I haven't really used it too much on stream. If you watch the first maybe 5 minutes of today's VOD, you would see a decent amount about like my opinions about using AI now. Okay, so we should not allow you to dig up these trash cans. These are load-bearing trash cans. Yeah, you cannot, but you can dig up everything else. So should we leave it in like this? Because I think this is kind of interesting. This is in fitting with the theme of this intentionally being broken this way. So like, yeah, this is not how you would expect this to work. It's very fun to do this. And then you could go plant seeds in here anyway, right? Yeah. It looks choppy because of the physics interpolation that I was messing with before. Oh, we show underneath the seed layer now. That's a problem. You can walk behind seeds. Cleaning up actually everything. Yeah, turn the entire village into just dirt. Or, better yet, watered dirt. So what other funny things can we do here? Let me speed up my movement. Actually, let's just speed up the whole game. And then not speed up the movement. There we go. Who's going to stop me? Can you go out of bounds? Yeah, I think you can. Yeah. Okay, we should definitely put a secret over here. You can just dig your way over to this. Yeah, I think we need to do that. Oh my goodness. All right, this is very funny. You can pull perfect vacuums with a shovel. You can do anything with a shovel. Look at this. It's a miracle tool. Yeah, I definitely want this to be in the game. Because this is great. Why can't we dig there? Oh, we can just walk around this? Why can't we dig there? Oh, maybe digging downward doesn't work? Oh, because it digs the current tile. Ah, let's set the timescale back to 1. Oh, that's probably amazing. Or sorry, that's probably a bad thing. I need to change. I was reading what Swat Kid was saying. And hey, Swat Kid, can you dig up the NPCs? No, you can't. Okay, so digging downward needs to dig the tile beneath you. The hit point right now is on the current tile. Okay, so wait, what did we just do? So, oh my God, why is this happening? This has to be due to keeping some resource we shouldn't be holding on to, right? Is this all we have to do is start the game and then close it and this happens? Yeah. All right, that's not good. Do you do any research on how to build X type of game? I find myself in getting an analysis paralysis before every single project. Not really, no. Although part of it at this point is that I have a lot of experience. I think before building Botland, I needed to do a bunch of research because there was some complex stuff there. Man. Try getting rid of them. Gee, thanks. Yeah, I'll need to do that. Okay, so open the game such that you go into the farming game in town and then quit after that. You'll see this crash. This probably only happens when you're in the farming game, is my guess. So if I go to the platformer, we start this up, and then I just quit the game through here. Yeah, it doesn't happen there. Okay. You suck up all the tiles in town. You become Lord of the Tiles. Okay. So this is pretty much done. It was just done in a very hacky way. Farm environment, here it is. Yeah. Let's just get all yeah, let's just save these off somewhere. And we can do this as soon as we're in ready. So this should be pretty nice. Okay, so we'll write like tile layers to dig up equals this dot accept. How does this work? Produces the set difference of two sequences by using the default equality comparer. Except ground layer seed layer dot to list. Good. Now we just go make this. Perfect. And set this equal to that. Perfect. And then down here, we just do this. Easy peasy. Okay. Yeah. Let's go try it out again. Just make sure that works. I should probably fix physics interpolation sooner rather than later. That's going to be one of the big tasks today. I'm in the wrong game, but look, we have the cheat menu, so I can just switch into the right game. Looking good. Let's speed this whole thing up. And let's go hog wild. I find this so funny. Oh, we can't dig up the grass? No, we can. We just have to dig it up by the upper left. I'm not going to change anything with that. This is working exactly how I want it to work. Yeah. We've got to put some kind of secret in here. We have to. I think getting out of bounds over here would be pretty nice. Because like normally these block you, but you can just dig your way through them and get rid of the blockages. And then you can go off screen actually. Oh, wait, no, I'm like, oh yeah, you can get like stuck up there kind of because you can move left and right. But if you could just dig your way down, it wouldn't matter. Out of the way. Out of the way. Oh my God. How amazing. Yeah, it's just too bad you can't dig downward, but we could probably do it through here, yeah. I got stuck on a... Oh, no, never mind, I see. Yeah, we got to put some kind of secret over here. If we could, we'd ask Nintendo for permission and say, hey, can we put Donkey Kong over there? He could be like, oh, you can dig through the terrain too. Actually, maybe there should just be like a golden banana over there. Yeah, that'd be a nice reference. We can use golden bananas. Where did I write down fake achievements? fake achievements. Here we go. In the farming game, the shovel can dig up walls. Can like remove walls in the town. We should probably have a hidden area with a golden banana as a reference to Bonanza. DK, what's it? What's the full game called? Donkey Kong Bonanza, yeah. Oh, banana. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's working well. Let's go check that in. This no longer needs to be public anymore. Yeah. We should probably change how watering tiles works too. The shovel in this game is magical and can dig up anything, practically anything. We save off the layers that we want to search through. We don't delete seeds when shoveling. Yeah. So this means you could plant... Do I still have this open? No, I don't. You could plant seeds where an NPC is standing. All right, looking good. And then over here, we just call shovel tile and nothing else. Yep. Great, great, great. Okay, so allow shoveling up anything in town. Perfect. Oh, wait, no, that's true everywhere, isn't it? I didn't just do that for the town. But I don't think this ever matters for any other places. No, but you could dig up walls now. Yeah, if you go into the farming game and you go back over to here and I speed up my movement. Oh, you can't see the walls. But you could dig them up and then you can walk through them? Yes. And then, yeah, you can just totally walk out of bounds that way. Like, it's not obvious. So if I hold left, the longer I hold left, now I can't just press right and I'm back on screen. I need to hold right. I'm like actually moving out of bounds. might need to stop that. Prevent the player from going way out of bounds in the farming game. You can outright delete the walls. We should probably prevent deletion of the wall layer, which is trivially easy, since we already ignore the ground layer and the seed layer. It just works. You can walk into a different game if you want to. All right, do we still have a UID warning here? Close out of this. Yeah, it's going to get annoying fast. I don't see one, but if we see one, then we'll fix that later. All right, so digging downward needs to dig the tile beneath you. Let's go do that one next. So we go to farm player, and in the animation player, we have shovel down. Oh, that's sickle. Did I just misread that, or did I click the wrong thing? Oh, I don't know what I just did. And this has shovel tile passed in with 110. So let's go figure out where 110 is. Node 2D. 110. It's right at the bottom of the tile. Yeah, we want this to be maybe like where the head of the shovel is. Maybe like there. I don't even think the 1 is necessary, right? It'd probably be like 0, 12. Yeah, let's do that. 0, 12. Okay, so that's it. That's all we needed to do. And you should be able to dig beneath you now. I gotta stop starting in this game. Where is it? Change to farming game. All right, so if we're walking into the lamppost and we shovel, yep, nice. So we should be able to go right through this. Nice. That's gonna feel a little bit better too. In fact, you know what? Actually, I think we lower by even one more pixel, because if I dig here, we do not dig beneath us, but it looks like we probably should, right? Yeah, let's make it go 1 pixel farther down. So this should be 13. All right, and then let's start in the farming game. Oops, that's not farming, it's farming game. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of what today is about. Just little minor improvements. I'm not feeling doing like super intense work today. All right, so if I'm here, we dig the current tile. If I'm there, we dig the current tile. I think that's still okay. I'm not sure. No, maybe we lower by another pixel. And what about going to the right? Does this always look correct? Yeah, that's fine. And what about left? Yeah, that's fine. And what about up? Up, I can't really tell where the shovel is, so kind of hard to gauge. Where does it finally trigger? Up there? I don't. Yeah, I don't want to be too nitpicky about this. Allow shoveling the tile beneath you. I just lowered the shovel point for this. That way you can delete walls below your character. Or like south of your character. I'm not going to clarify that either. All right, change sidekick animation. We'll do that later. I want to fix these other things. So need a sound for stepping on stones. Yeah, we'll do that later too. So you can walk behind seeds. Probably walk behind a lot of stuff, right? This looks fine. It's once you get here that you should be on top of it now. So I think we just need to change the Y sort origin. Well, for this flower, it might be a little bit tricky. But yeah, I think we need to change the Y sort origin. Let's just go try to change it for one of these things at first. So we want to find the flowers. Yep, here. And this one. And zoom way in. And change where it's sorting it. Can't I just move the player and test it out that way? Yes, I can. Well, this should make it a lot easier. So I would like to change you to have a different origin. Where do we do that? Rendering? Terrain origin here. So we just lower this? Nope, not like that. I think it's called Y sort origin. There it is, Y sort origin. So we just lower is, yeah, lower is probably correct. All right, so now as we move the player, how does this look? You're behind it. You are in front of it. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. So we need to do that with all of these. Tile set plants. Here we go. So what did I set that one to? -7. It's probably, what if it's -8? Because that way it matches the origin of this. Is that what's supposed to be set? It's a little bit hard to tell because of the collision shape. Yeah, I think -8 is probably fine. All right, yeah, that's good enough. We need this to look like super convincing. Just moderately convincing. All right, so we set it to negative. What I said to -8. -8. Yep. All right. Are these the same flower? No, they're slightly different. Hey, Grim. How's the game going? I am doing well. And the game's doing, I think, pretty well, too. I like the progress I've been making. We've been coding this for, I want to say 3 weeks and 2 days now. Well, I can't really say coding because like 3 of those were music streams. And one of them was a Skeleteller stream. Anyway, it's probably been about 3 weeks of coding. And we have maybe like 5 minutes of gameplay. So the game is going well, but I think it is going to be quite the task to like flesh everything out. Hey, Preston, what's up with the 30-minute earlier start schedule now? I just started waking up earlier, so I figured I might as well start the stream earlier. And hey, Strawn, so another year. I don't know. I don't know how long this game is going to take. I also don't know how long this game should last for from the player's point of view. Like, are we making a 2-hour-long game? And yeah, if so, how long will it take to make that game? So if we spend 1 month on every 5 minutes, then we could just multiply this by, what, 24? So it'd be 2 years for 2 hours. But ideally, we have some ways to stretch this a little bit by making more just like game experiences. Going to be updating again soon. Yeah, Godot's going through pretty frequent updates, I'd say. I need to upgrade versions because there are a couple of changes that I'm interested in. All right, so I fixed it for the flowers, right? So where else can we move the player and have them look like they're wrong? The flowers are fine. The stumps are probably collidable, so that probably doesn't matter. The grass, I think, is a tiny problem. Like here, you should probably look like you're on top of the grass. Why is that the case, though? Should we just change the origin of the player? And where is grass? It's considered inside of flowers. Okay. And where's the specific tile? Plants. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go to tile set, select the grass. I don't know which one of these it is. Oh, there it is. So -1 is enough to get this to look good. So you're behind it, and then you're kind of in it. Maybe -2 even. It'd be great if there was a faster way to do this. All right, how's that look? Yeah, that's pretty good. Assume once you get deeper and deeper with the game, the flow starts going faster too, compounding effect. So normally that happens, but because we're really making like, 14 different games, we can't really get a lot of momentum with a specific game, I feel. Now, there are some exceptions that I was kind of talking about here. So like, let's say we make a space shooter next, and let's say the point of this is just to be a fun game. Instead of making 5 minutes of gameplay, we could make 15 minutes. So now you're allowed to kind of be in the game for longer. You're expected to be in the game for longer. With this, the crazy thing is, how many days did I spend on the farming game? And the whole point of this game is just for you to like see some dialogue. Like there are mechanics here. You can plant seeds and stuff, but you don't actually need to do any of this. You can literally just ignore the farming mechanics, except for getting strawberries. You need to get the strawberries eventually. But yeah, you can pretty much ignore that stuff. Love the progress on this project. Progress has been more steadfast than Skeleseller. Yeah, I think part of it too is like when you know you're only making a game that's going to last for 5 minutes, you don't need to polish everything and make sure it's like, I don't know, maintainable code even, because you're not going to come back to it. If this were the game, we'd want to polish everything here, but we don't need to. They update the third more, but they're 3D. Yeah. I have to limit myself to maybe 6 months. Are you worried at all about the scope of a purely story-based game? Probably why I'd never make one. Even something like Undertale is a main gameplay mechanic that extends its already small playtime for the average player. This isn't, I would say, purely story-based. The games that you've seen me make so far within this are more story-based because they need to set up the story. But once you're done with this particular game, so you go from platformer to farmer to the, farming, to the Fever Dream game, to the farming game again. After this, we can put you in a couple of just like normal fun games with twisted mechanics somehow. And that's where I think it's going to be pretty interesting, because at that point, they don't even need to be story relevant. They can't violate the rules of the story, but there doesn't need to be dialogue in them. It could just be that, yep, you got separated from Sidekick and you go play a couple games and then you get back to the Architect's realm somehow. Hey, LA. Hey, TJ. And yeah, town's looking great. Darkstorm worked on it. I think it's looking really nice. We are trying to fix some minor details right now, and it's taking a little bit of time to do this. But now that I know that this was set to -2, we can just set all of them to -2, I think. Yeah. Can I select multiple at a time? I can. Okay, that makes things easier too. And then do we ever have these small flowers somewhere? There's one. Okay, so we need to move the player next to that small flower and see what happens when you do this. Yeah, this should also probably be -2. Why does every single one of these need to be set like that, though? Should we just like... Oh, you can set the Y-store origin on everything? Added to each tile's Y-store origin value. This allows to fake a different height level. Is this offset? Is that why? No. There's flowers offset, though. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I might as well just set everything, right? I don't know. Maybe this is a dumb way of doing things. So just select this. Wait, no, that's how you select multiple things. Shift click. Okay. I'm just going to select everything. And we're going to set it to -2. So now when you move the player around, good. That's pretty convincing. That's good. So, okay, let's just walk around the world and see how it feels. Hey, Trackley. It's stuck in Pong for 1 hour. All right, all we're doing is seeing when you walk over this, does it look like it's convincing? And yeah, that looks pretty good. Same thing with these flowers. You walk behind it. You eventually walk in front of it. This one, maybe we change the position a little bit. But yeah, in general, I think this is fine. There's got to be some pixel position where it's going to look a little bit weird. This one, for example, is just wrong, I think. Did I not change whatever flower that is? Oh. There it is. Yeah, no, I did not change this one. I didn't change the tall ones. But I guess this should also probably be set to like, I don't know, negative. Wait, what am I doing right now? I want to set it to 10? Doesn't seem right. No, that can't be right. Oh, did I change the texture origin? I didn't mean to do that. I meant to change this. Should just be -2. Yeah. Okay. Any others? Yeah, these, I guess. All right, let's just change everything now to -2. There. Hey, Valentine. Welcome in. Just trying to imagine what the genre would be. How do you plan to advertise it? Thinking maybe Stanley Parable, which could be similar. So I don't know how I'm going to advertise it. Genre-wise, I'm thinking of this as like a comedy-based story game. And I think some of this will be clearer as we make more of the game. I played a little of Evoland. I don't remember much of it, but I don't think they were aiming for the same feel out of this game. I don't fully remember, though. I think this is more about the actual, like, gameplay, right? Like, it was an RPG through and through. I think what's different about this is you're going to go to just literally, like, different games. You'll be in a puzzle game, and then some, like, you know, farming simulator, and then imagine a first-person shooter or something. Super Paper Mario has a section where it became an incremental game. Is that part where you're supposed to, you're in some like spooky mansion and you had to collect these gems or something? I vaguely remember. I did not actually like Super Paper Mario too much. In fact, I loved Super Mario RPG, and then when the Paper Mario series came out, I'm like, oh, cool. Since I love this game so much, I'm going to love this game. And I played through 1 and 2, and I thought, like, okay, they're good. But then I was kind of let down by a lot of the other ones. I just wanted Super Mario RPG 2. All right, I'm spending a lot of time on this, and I don't want to be spending a lot of time on this. So let's just see if there's any other like very obviously wrong things. So let's run this again. So I will speed up my movement, and we'll just go walking around here. Yep, that's fine. This is a little strange. Yeah, like you shouldn't be walking on top of this. I mean, as I change this here, it's going to change it in the game automatically. So I just need to set this to -2, I think. And that should look better. No. Do I have this open in 2 different places? Yes. Did I open the correct one? Huh. I thought it should change automatically. Maybe it doesn't. Chameleon Guy traps you. Yeah, I think I remember that. I don't think I beat that game. I think I got bored partway through. Yeah, nice. Okay. All right, any other ones that look a little bit weird, we could just say it's part of the game being broken. Because I've spent a long time now changing just how grass and flowers look and stuff, and I think this is more convincing. The one place I did not do this with is these sorts of flowers. We probably have to do them here too. Yeah, and here it's like super busted. Okay, well, maybe we can find and change all of those at once. Where are those flowers? Huh, where are those flowers? Ground sprites, here it is. I mean, there aren't very many of these. So just throw the player over there and fix it. Can I load world T-res here and do things this way? Yeah, it loads the tile set, nice. Okay, so I want to change all of these and probably these too. And as long as I'm doing it, I guess all of those as well. And we just lower it to negative something. Probably -2. How's that look? Alternatively, you know what this probably indicates is I should have just changed the Y-sort origin of the player. Is that even something you can do? I don't think so. Do they have... No, I don't think so. I think we'd have to change the offset over here, and I think that would mess a bunch of things up. All right, so is this fine now? No, we need to change this just a tiny bit more. Yeah. And maybe it's just for the flowers and stuff. -3. There we go. Okay, so let's move them around. That looks good. That's good. Yeah, the bushes would be a little bit different. I'm going to just not worry about that stuff. Okay, well, it's been almost an hour. What's the game about? So this is called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And I can show you briefly kind of what this is all about. It's going to look a little bit choppy because I haven't checked something in that I need to check in. So like, imagine it's not this broken looking. This is not part of the game. But yeah, so you start in this like platformer thing. You eventually make your way over to this part of the world where it says try to collect the diamonds in one go. And instead of ever being able to even do this, you fall through the entire world. So this is kind of kicking off the whole like, this is a broken game and you are supposed to exploit these bugs to like make it to the next areas. And yeah, so this eventually leads you to the farming game where you will like go into town and meet some different characters and stuff. Anyway, we got to work on that. Hey, Cuddlefish. Okay, I'm going to take my break and ad's about to run anyway. So is it jump time? Is that going to work? I don't think it is. Is it jump time? Oh man, stupid captions. All right, break. Goodbye. It's jump time. Hello again. Excuse me, I had a cough. Close the game. Hey, Tycon. And hey, Spooky. Okay, where did we leave off here? I was making things walk around plants, right? Yeah, I think we're just going to check that in. Change Y sword origin of many plants. In the farming game, it wasn't convincing how you would walk around flowers and grass. Excuse me. Where's Dark? I'm not sure. Yeah, how are you doing, Spooky? All right, so walk by. Oh, wait, whoa. The seeds are different. The seeds we probably just have broken, right? Although, why is this not a problem on the actual farm? Did something change? Oh, whoops, I also moved the player. Why did that not seem to matter? Why did that not seem to matter? I don't know. Yeah, I don't have an explanation for that. I also don't know why it's not showing up in the changelog. I didn't just commit that, did I? How am I feeling about the transition? I like it. I do need to spend some more time configuring it because there are a lot of things that are annoying me that I just haven't spent time fixing. I'm doing pretty well. I'm also just kind of chilling today. So this is going to be just make some progress, move some things forward. I think it's nice to have some low expectation days. Yeah, I don't understand why this isn't showing up, huh? What if I move this, right? Shouldn't it show up over here? Something's wrong. Something's very wrong. I'm moving this character around and then saving the scene. But I don't see the change over here. Get status is just not showing. It's weird. Got today to Friday off. Oh, nice. Nice. Are other people still there? So you can spend time with them now? I don't know why this is happening this way. Wow. This is very bizarre. What if I just delete something from here? Like I just delete that and then save. Okay, detected that as a change. It doesn't see that the player's in a different spot though. That's so weird. Yeah, their position just set to 7,59. But they're not there. I don't even know what could cause that. Is it inside this scene that they're set to 759? No. Wow, how bizarre. What if I detach the script from here? What does that do? Now it says script equals null, but it doesn't get the difference in position. I've never seen this happen. I truly don't know what could do that. And watch this. If I revert this, okay, so check this out. The player is right there. They're like in front of a tree, right? I go revert this, and it's going to detect that there's a change. I click reload, and now they're over here. So like obviously they moved. Why? And now they're at 759. So why is it that when I move them here and save, it doesn't detect? This has to be some kind of Godot bug. But then how is it even rendering here to begin with? What if I reload the whole project? Oh, is it because it was running the whole time? Oh. Maybe I'm just a dummy. Did that fix it? No, it doesn't do it either. All right, I'm going to reload this. We're going to put them in the lamppost there. And reload this, and I bet they're not going to be in the lamp anymore. Because if the file doesn't have to change, it wouldn't know to put them there again. Yeah, it doesn't. So there's no way to move this character anymore. Oh, wait. It's probably the animation player in the scene having a reset position that's changing where the player is. Okay. Oh, okay. So if I put this over here, now it'll actually save the file. Yes. Wow. That's very tricky. That's very, very tricky. How would you have done this if you didn't know about that? I guess you click the key button. And now it should have saved. Yeah, okay, sure. Sure. Just didn't even think that was a thing. Okay, great. Well, whatever. Close everything. So yeah, seeds, that's what I want to test out. And we were in the wrong spot. So now we go back to, let's see, farming game and set this to just free play. So this will let us plant seeds. I don't know if it's just a problem on the farm or in the town too. Yeah, this will let us test very easily. So we go plant some seeds. And we're fine here. Yeah, this is working just fine. So it's just a problem in the town. Let's go over there. Oh, I can't go over there. I'd have to go here and then here. And then let this play out. Oh, but I don't need to wait for it. I can do this now. Easy. Easy. Oh, you can't turn off movement speed being 2x? And now the camera's going to be permanently zoomed. Oh, what's going on with the strawberries? They apparently do not like it when the timescale is big. That's bad. And yeah, we're just zoomed in now. Wow. And did something break over here? Audio typewriter. So I just got to go load this. Audio typewriter save. Did that change something? No. Oh, no, it did change something. Yeah. All right, fix UID. Hey, Mark. Is the name of your game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial, or is that your debug app? That's the name of the game, yeah. So Stuck in a Broken Tutorial is the game. And it is a game about being stuck in various games. Yeah, I like the name a lot too. I like the idea. I like how this is all shaping up. Honestly, pretty much every part of this process has been good except for maybe the speed of development in terms of how much gameplay we're actually making. So if you were to time me playing this, maybe not me, because that's probably a bad idea, because I guess a real player is going to actually read everything and like react to it and absorb the information. But yeah, if I were to play it from like start to finish right now, it's probably like 5 minutes. So I'm going to do play tests tomorrow. I'm going to show my wife the game tomorrow. She has heard me talk about it. She has not seen any of the graphics, I think, or any of the gameplay. And I don't know if she'll like the game, but I want to just see what her reaction and everything is. It's not a true test because she did know about the idea first. And then on Friday, I'm going to test it with another streamer, but it's going to be on Discord. And that should be interesting because I don't know how much he knows about the game. So yeah, I am curious if he finds anything funny or if he's like, this does not seem fun, or I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so walking behind seeds is the only problem in town. So let's go try this. Yeah, it is a problem here. Why is this happening here? I wonder. Seed layer is here, and its ordering is set to 0 plus 0 plus 0. So 0. Why wasn't this a problem on the farm? I don't know why it wasn't a problem on the farm. We have an environment node here. We go instantiate in the... Oh, is it because of Y sorting? Wouldn't that mean that this is broken? Oh, I'm so confused. Let's go try this out. Let's leave this. Yeah, I guess you're just able to step all over all of this stuff. So I should probably go fix that. You know what? I'm going to ask AI about this crash because maybe it can figure something out. And that way I can just do what I want to do here. Okay, so when in the farming game, if I'm in farm zone, it's not even called farm zone. What's it called? Farm here. I want this. Everything is fine. However, if I quit while in town, I get this. All right, I'm just going to give this for now, and let's figure out what's going on, because I don't want to spend the time debugging this right now. So I'm just going to put it in plan mode, and it's going to run. And that's it. I'm not going to look at it. We're going to go back to this issue now. Which is the seed layer. So we do kind of have a problem over here. We're already running it. I'm in the wrong version of this game, though. I need to go into replay after Fever Dream. So if we go enable Y sorting over here, it's probably going to start looking messed up. I don't, but I probably just shouldn't have it on the seed layer. I think that's a real problem. But if I do turn this on, what happens here? Nothing, because it also needs to be on the environment. Still nothing? Because it needs to be in farm zone as well? No, that's already on. Maybe I just had to restart. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Maybe the environment over here doesn't have this set? Ah, it does not. Okay, there we go. So now they show up in front of or behind this. So that's good. I mean, we need to change the coordinate a little bit. And then this will break the other scene too. Meta jokes about modern games tutorials. Yeah, and just kind of like satirical game tropes in general. But yeah, that whole arrows and pop-ups thing, yeah, I was thinking like it'd be kind of funny if you could just, it's like click this button and you could just change where the arrow's pointing so you can click at a different button or something like that. All right, this is going to make everything like hyper obnoxious, right? And I guess the way we test this is we just dig up another thing and put a seed here. And now we're going to show up behind the seed. We should probably always show up on top of the seed, which means we set its origin like negative 100 or positive 100 or something like that. I guess we use different tile sets, so this is going to be even more annoying to do this. But if I just get the plant and then I pick its Y sort origin and set this like that, is this changing anything on the fly? I don't think it is. Maybe if I press enter? No, I don't think it is. Man, that's too bad. Hey, TLB. Just make sure you're steady. Yeah, I'm having a pretty good day so far. I think it's good to just lower my expectations sometimes. Like, we're getting stuff done. This isn't problematic or anything. Okay, that looks pretty good, right? You walk behind it when you're sort of behind it, and then you walk in front of it when you're right about here. It's not maybe exactly how I'd expect this to be, but it's pretty close. Hey, Worka, what's going on here today? I'm not doing too much today. It's mostly polish. Tomorrow I'm going to show the game to my wife. Then the next day I'm going to show the game to somebody else, and we'll see what they say about this. So we're just trying to make sure things are as good as they can be. One of the things that's very obvious here is like, look at how jittery the character is. They're just like skipping from one place to another. That's because I started working on something yesterday and never finished. And I want to wrap that up today so that everything looks smooth again. It's not even hard to do. And I really should prioritize it for even like the next hour so that it doesn't, I don't have to keep explaining. But yeah, one of the things, check this out. So we have, thanks to Dark, we have the town is now pretty fleshed out. And then thanks to this being a broken tutorial, you can dig up whatever you want. So if you want to go through this boundary here, you can't, but you could just dig up the boundary. Which I just love this idea. So you can actually dig up trees. You can go pretty much anywhere. You can dig up these bushes. And I mean, technically you could plant things here too, but planting doesn't mean anything. Hey, Fing. We saw the game before your wife? Yeah. Although that I was intentionally trying to not show her progress so that I could show it to her once I had a checkpoint ready. Speedrunner's going to love this game. Well, I don't actually think you're going to need to do this for speedrunning. If you were in this game for any longer, it would probably be beneficial for speedrunning, but yeah, this is just, it's just a tool in the game. Anyway, going back to this. So we got to get seeds to look convincing, and I couldn't get this to change on the fly. Let's go plant a seed here. Now we show up behind it no matter what. But this is a different environment. It's, well, actually, no, this one's, I guess, this right here. Can I just set the Z index to like, no, I can't set it to negative. I wonder if I change this. Oh, you know what we could do? What am I thinking? We could just change it in here. We could just instantiate in a player. And they should have Y sort on. And then where are they right now? They're up there. Okay, so let's just put them there for now. So if I put them behind or in front of this, it's fine. And then if I change it to a seed, now no matter what, you are on top of this thing. Good. That's how it should be. So he's got to make sure this is set what? As low as possible, I guess? I said it's a negative 10. Yeah, like negative 16 is even fine. Your character is, I think, 16 by 16. So this would mean that even if you somehow had a seed that took up the bottommost pixel and like the top of your hair was there, it wouldn't show behind it. Perfecto. Okay, great. So now let's fix this. Put this back to a strawberry plant. Very important that you have only strawberries on your farm. No seeds. I think you underestimate the creativity of speedrunners. Well, what I'm trying to say is there's nothing probably blocking your path anyway, such that shoveling would be necessary. It's like, let's say we had a map where you had to get from the start to the finish, and there was some like massive wall or a maze or something like that. And, you know, just imagine I drawn on something. The fastest path would be just a direct line, and you'd carve a hole out here and here. But the actual thing we have in the game is like, there might be a barricade there, and maybe like up here there's something. You still can just walk in the fastest path. So, yeah, maybe there's something where like you have to dig up one tile or something like that. But okay, so this fixes it here. We got to fix it everywhere. And that means that in the town one where we have seeds. Oh, maybe this does just use the same thing. Is this already set? No, it's not. That's a shame. Well, you can't get strawberries here. And then we only have one other environment, which is the before dream environment. And this also has a seed layer, and it also uses its own custom thing, and I probably shouldn't do that, and that should fix it. Although we just don't need Y sorting on at all. Yeah. Okay, so let's go try everything. Hey, Kurihige. So behind a couple of odds, want to ask, what's your plan for the upcoming weeks? I'm going to be visiting family, so I will not be streaming. Yeah, it's mostly going to be family time, some relaxation, probably like a little bit of planning, some music playing. Yeah. Now, there are going to be streams tomorrow and Friday. Those will probably both be half days. Tomorrow is going to be music. We're going to work on the farm music. Actually, probably entirely the farm music. And then Friday, I don't know yet. And then, yeah, Saturday until roughly like 2 weeks from now is vacation. And then once I get back, it's going to be some amount of like stabilizing what I've done. So for example, every string I've typed in the game right now is in English. We don't have support for localization. I want to start supporting that from the very beginning. And then I want to maybe set up a Steam page. I don't know. I got to figure out the marketing and everything. When's your expected time to be back? I got it in the vacation command. I don't remember when it is exactly. May 14th. Yeah, so probably I'll stream again on the 15th. I may pop in on that Thursday beforehand. I'm not sure. So, yeah. Star Wars holiday. May the 4th be with you. Star Wars holiday indeed. Okay, so we got to go test all of this stuff out. Let's set this to just free play. And now I think everything should look good. All right, so we go plant some seeds. We should always show up on top of the seeds. Good. Then we can't go to town, right? If we try to, it says, yeah. I don't like that he's calling you an ingrate. I want it to be something a little bit less pointed. Your grandfather just gave you this farm and you already want to leave it? How do we say this softer but still not like neutral? You should really spruce it up. Maybe like this with an unhappy face. What's the rush? Mm. Yeah, that's probably best, I think. Hey, retired Andrew. Hey, you win. Let's see. Okay, so here's what AI said about this crash. Root cause. Attaches all 4 zones from the scene tree at startup. Set current zone immediate reattaches 1. Current zone lives in the tree. Other 3 are kept alive only by C# field references. They still own native rids, collision shapes, canvas items, textures. The user quits. We clear the cache. Scene tree shuts down. In tree current zone is freed. And then farming game dispose calls queue free on the detached zones, but queue free refers to the next idle frame. Oh, defers, which never runs. So shouldn't we wait for a frame before leaving? I don't want to do this. I just want to wait for a frame before quitting. Yeah. But I'm glad it pointed this out. So instead of get tree.quick, can't we just say like run on next frame? Run on... What am I doing? This is not even the right ID. Quit. Wait, we have 2 quits here? Oh, I wonder if this even gets hit. Let me try this. Hope you have a great, relaxing holiday. I've been enjoying the ride so far with the new game, but also the development and release of Skeleton. You deserve some time off. Yeah, I do need some time off, and thank you. Yeah, and I was mentioning this earlier today, but there's this draw that I have to like maximize my spending. Sorry, maximize the value I get from my spending on AI. So like last night, I was really tired, and this is part of the reason why today I have low expectations. I was really tired, and I was like, all right, well, I have AI credits, right? I should probably use these. So I added in the cheat menu. Like this is not something that's even player facing, but it's super helpful, like super helpful. So now if I want to switch games, I don't need to close it, change some code, switch. I just use this cheat. If I want to go to a certain part of this game, I just use the cheat. This is great. It's controller friendly. It makes sounds, I think. Yeah. Like this is something that if I didn't have AI, I just wouldn't have done any work last night. So 1, I'd be more rested. 2, I would not have this feature. And yeah, 3, I wouldn't have continued to do more work. So I did some things on the title screen. Oh, nice. This is getting hit. Okay. Yeah. So I think we do need to defer this. This dot something next frame, call next frame. Yeah. Oh, wait. This won't dispose of anything though, right? Oh, right. This won't work. Because it's a problem with once we've decided to quit. All right, I'm gonna have to just leave this for now. Let's just go save this plan somewhere. Crash on quit plan.md. Copy path. I'll just put this over here. Plan the AI came up with. How much did that take in terms of my usage? I'm always curious about this stuff. 47%. Well, actually 45%, I think. That was like half of the 5-hour limit. That's fine. I don't really plan on using AI while I'm streaming right now. But I figured I might as well ask it about this, see what it can come up with. It's probably the answer. Okay, so this seems like it's fixed. So, oh, but I hadn't finished testing everything, right? We need to get back to the game after the fever dream. So flow control, free play after fever dream. Yeah, that should do it. So now we can test with strawberry plants, seeds, and then seeds in the town. So I go over to here. Oh, actually, we should test in the house too. I don't know if that works. Yeah, it's fine here. And over here, it is fine. What about with seeds? Yep. Pretty good. Cool. All right, now let's speed ourselves up and run over to town. Oh, right. Use your sickle. Okay, time scale of 1 again. Now dig this up. Perfect. It's all working. All right, great. Cool. Yeah, that's going to get annoying fast. All right, so Y sorting is now on, and we fixed how seeds work. So that's all of that stuff. Fix Y sorting of strawberries. You always walk on top of seeds now. And the fully grown plants have a well set origin. Yep, cool. And then this is make tutorial man less, not snarky, insulting. Yeah, insulting. All right, prevent the player from going way out of bounds in the game. We could just stop you from digging up particular layers, like the cliff layer. Or what we could do is we could make an indestructible boundary layer and just draw in some invisible nav tiles. I don't think it's super important right now either way. But what I wouldn't want to have happen is a player carves a hole out through the world and then they go up and now they're invisible and they're stuck. Not stuck because they can't move, but stuck because they can't see where they are to get feedback to know where to move. And it's probably easier for me to just show you this in the game. People aren't following what I'm saying here, but... Oh, wait a second. Can't you do this in your house too? Doesn't this... Oh, okay, yeah. So this is what I'm talking about. You can just walk out of bounds. Now here you could see where you are because the house doesn't fill the whole screen. But this would... Yeah, you can't dig these up. This would not work for the farm zone. So we need some sort of like indestructible boundary. In the house, we could just put it over here so you can't go outside of the screen. Alternatively, what we might be able to do is set it to like the camera bounds. Hey, Ezra. Hello from inside. Where are you usually saying hello from? Are you in my place right now? Can you make it so that you dig up all the floor, the under tiles where you'd fix this? So here's what I want to do, and I think you'll like this idea. I want it to be that when you dig up the tiles here, it shows the chef slime from Skeleseller, and when you water it, it turns it into the garbage slime. So that way you could reveal the whole picture. Actually, you might not be able to reveal the whole picture because I think you might not be able to get under some of this furniture. No, so far you can. But yeah. Yeah, so something like that. Whereas right now it's just some like randomly chosen tiles. And yeah, you can plant seeds in your house. Got started on my day job and it's inside of a company. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Yeah. Hope it's going well. I think, I mean, I was looking for a little bit that same day and I think I heard the company that you're working at. And I hope you like it, especially compared to your prior company, because I suspect they'll have different cultures. You make it so the slime is, say, 4x6 tiles, so you have to dig up a bunch. I don't know how we're going to do that yet, because I gotta figure that out. Like, we could stretch the face of the slime. We could, I don't know. There's like a bunch of things we can do. Maybe we work on that today. I don't know. Gotta figure that out. Okay, so about the boundaries, we have a couple of potential options here. So problem, you can dig walls out of the world and then walk out of bounds in such a way that you wouldn't be able to see how to get back. So option 1 could be something like prevent digging out the walls. Option 2 is make an invisible, undiggable wall. Option 3 is if you go out of bounds for long enough, we teleport you back to the spawn and tell you not to do that. Maybe they don't even tell you something. Same old, going through it. Looking at, do I have like 2 hours during lunchtime to stream or not? Oh, wow. By the way, I have heard of people streaming while having jobs and their jobs getting mad at them for streaming. And I know at Google, there were some stipulations around what I could and couldn't do when it came to streaming. So I talked to someone who said, like, you know, the usual, don't share your opinions as though you're the company. But the other thing that was kind of weird is like, you can't make money while streaming. And I was like, okay, well, what about ad revenue? Like, I can't even turn that off. There's no way for me to do that. And I know they were like, just tread carefully, pretty much. Also, keep in mind that you'll never get like a lawyer who is going to support you, who works at the company, to tell you the answers to this stuff. You have to hire your own lawyer. So, yeah, just do be careful about that. Because I think I have seen at least one streamer who had action taken against them on their job because they were streaming during work hours. All right, what else could we do here? Option 4. Is there another option? Like allow the camera to move in that specific scenario. I don't like that one. I think what I like best is probably this. Make an invisible, undiggable wall. Alternatively, it's prevent digging out the walls. I mean, that's pretty much, these are kind of the same option. Are you going to skeletal references and jokes? Yeah. Yeah, I just mentioned one a couple minutes ago. I don't know if you were in the stream already, but I want to put the Chef Slime and Garbage Slimes images under the house. So when you dig in that game, you'll see them. I think that'll be funny. How do you start in game development? Like how did I specifically, or how does one, like just a general person start? Because how I started, I've got a command for that. How any like a generic person starting, I would say it's a combination of all the usual learning things. So like exploring, taking classes or getting a teacher, researching or studying, which doesn't have to be with a teacher or anything. And yeah, just practice. So for example, if you want to get started right now, I mean, Godot is free and you could download it and then go through their getting started guide and then like try to make Pong. And even if you never coded before, I don't think this will be such a challenge that you won't make any progress or you won't learn something. The only question I think would be like, do you find it fun? Are you enjoying it? Do you want to learn more? Those sorts of things. Because, yeah, game dev has never been easier. All right, so I think we go with one of these. How do we do the walls in the town? What is this layer? It's not ground. It's not terrain. It's grass borders is the only thing. Oh, you know what we could do? We could just make sure that whatever you're trying to dig up is in the ground layer. Yeah. That's easy. That's super easy. Wow, I'm glad I put some thought into that. All right, so farm environment. If you are digging, we need to make sure that it's within bounds. Yeah. So first, ensure that the tile is in bounds. Otherwise, you'll be able to... Wait a second. What? What's stopping you from walking outside of this anyway? What? Maybe it's not the digging that's a problem. Maybe it's the walking that's a problem. Which I guess goes back to our invisible wall thing. I think I can say this. Basically, don't say anything publicly too openly to keep everything separate. Helps most of my setup happened outside of the job, but culture's pretty chill, and they seem to be very chill with a worker being a streamer. Hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Are you working for Twitch? Or I guess what IVS, is that what it's called? Yeah, is it one of those? You don't have to share, by the way. If anything's ever too personal, feel free to just not talk about this. Yes, we got to make sure the ground layer actually has tiles, and if it doesn't, that we stop you. Oh, but in this case, we put walls outside of most of this, I think. And then where is this log thing coming from? It's in trees. Okay, I see. Okay, I see. Gotcha. Yeah. Well, your phrasing hinted that it might have been that. But yeah, cool. That's cool. I hope you have a good time on the job. All right, so what's the easiest way to do this? I guess we just pick a tile that has collision and then draw it on the outside of this entire thing and prevent you from going there that way. But no, then the camera would go there. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I still don't know what I should do here in terms of the best thing. I think we just make another layer. Yeah, I think we just make another layer and just say it's a boundary that you can never cross. But we have to put this in every one of these places. Like this would need this too. Man. Hey Magnus. Yeah, I don't love this idea. Invisible tile with collision data. Yeah, but it's got to be in a different layer because we set the camera boundaries based on the actual tiles. Or I guess we could just discount the outer tile of this and add it in dynamically into the ground layer. But we do need there to be the same tile set for all of these or else we can't do this, right? There's one other thing I could think of here. We have move and slide. We could just check to see, are you at the boundaries of the world? And if we are, we don't let you move outside of it. I think that's a bad idea. Yeah. It's not auto-gen, I just draw some manual rigid bodies. Well, the other question I would have is, do we want to change this so that the boundaries are different based on the zone you're in? So like in the house, for example, should you be allowed to go outside in this like dead zone? And I think that's okay as long as you don't go outside of the screen. But anyway, I'm kind of belaboring this. So let's just go add in a tile map layer and oh, there's another thing we could do here, which is make an invisible layer altogether. Does the ground layer extend to here? It doesn't. So if I do code the thing that prevents you from digging outside of there, now I think I want you to walk outside of here for a little bit, at least when the camera's constrained. I just don't want you getting stuck. Honestly, maybe the best thing is the other solution, this one. Not this one, sorry, this one. If you go out of bounds for long enough, we teleport you back to the spawn. So we just need to know where a like safe place to put you would be. Because it's easy to detect that you're outside of the camera limits. So torn on this. I mean, the hidden rigid body thing also works. We need 4 though. If you move out of bounds, make some indication where you are, like a hat sipping through the texture. I'm not sure I understand the second part of that. But yeah, what we could do is something like what the Smash Bros games do. They have like an off-screen thing. Yeah, this. Like an indication that that's where your player is. The problem is, and even in Smash this is a problem, is you don't know how far off screen you are. So like if you were shot like way up into the world and you weren't killed, you might be like just off screen or you might be pretty far off screen. I think that would be an issue. UX-wise, it'd be cool if player speed is impacted by being out of bounds with Area 2D, then it snaps you back to the last within bound location. While you were typing that, I just thought of an idea. Sorry, it's not that I'm ignoring that. It's that we could automatically generate rigid bodies with the right shapes just outside of the ground layer. Yeah. Yeah. This would work. I just wonder if it's best. So let's try this. Let's turn on visible collision shapes. And in farm environment, going to make a new function here. Let's put it here. Private void set up invisible boundaries. And the very first thing we're gonna do is write a comment for this. So it's intentional that the shovel can dig up walls. However, this means that you can dig up the boundary walls and then walk outside of them. We need to prevent that so that the player doesn't get stuck. They're not actually stuck in the sense that they can't move. It's just that they can't see where they are to be able to navigate back onto the screen. So as a result, we make an invisible. Wait, can we make a rigid body that if you're inside you can't leave? I don't know if that's even a smart idea. Make an invisible boundary. Player can walk through after. To contain the player. How about that? Architect's teleportation animations would teleport you back in. I think that would be a theme-based solution. So the architect is not watching you play this game, or else that could potentially work. And they're not really benevolent to you at the beginning. It would be more on theme, I think, for Tutorial Man to be like, hey, don't do that. Like, only I can do that. But yeah, this is something that most players will never even figure out on their own. So I don't want to do a costly solution for this. So yeah, what I wonder is, what if we just made a rigid body? No, not even rigid body, static body 2D, and add in a collision shape. And then is there a way to invert this? No. Oh, I was hoping there might have been a way to invert this. There's only one-way collision. So yeah, what I think we have to do is, yeah, set up rectangles like this, and then on each side. And I think it'll be a little bit annoying to do, but let's go try it. Oh, did that just... No, I think that works. Okay. Okay, so let's just try getting the extent of the... Where did I do this already? It was in setting up the camera boundaries. Yeah, if I just search for limit, I should find it. There we go. All right, so copy this, I guess. All right, so I care about get camera bounds. That'll return a rectangle for us. So that was easy. And then this has to have a value because we know that we already have this thing here. So I don't care about this. And bounds.value. That shouldn't be needed. Okay, so we need the top rectangle. So we need like a create static body 2D. So static body 2D top boundary equals new shape. You can't set a shape this way. No. You need to add it as a child of this, right? So sure, just make a new static body 2D. I don't think it really matters even what we set it to. Oh, no. We do need the layer set, right? Collision layer equals 0. And I'll just say to do make a constant out of this. And then add it as a child, top boundary. And I kind of want to set a debug color here too. So now we make a collision shape. Or collision, how do you, I don't know what this is called. What is the actual shape? Well, I guess we just start with a collision shape 2D. Top boundary shape equals new. And then set the shape in here to a new rectangle. There we go. All right, now how do you make a rectangle here? This is not how I'd expect. Is this a collision shape? Intended for use in physics, yeah. You can't make one from a rectangle. You have to set size and what? Presumably set its position too. Nah, that's a shame. Okay, fine. So rectangle, shape 2D, top rectangle. So size is going to be equal to the new. It's the top one, so it's got to span the whole thing. Yeah, like this. And then its position. It doesn't have a position. The collision shape has a position. Okay, I see. So couldn't we do this and just set the size in here? Cannot initialize collision shape with a collection initializer because it does not implement. Interesting. I didn't know it needed to implement something certain for this to even work. Cover the whole area in an area 2D, and if they exit that, snap them back or clamp their position inside of it. Yeah, we could do that. We need to clamp it back or snap it to a part that is going to allow them to still move so that we don't like clip them into a tree or something. And I mean, we already have move and slide, so making sure they just don't collide with something outside the world, I think would be possibly best. Don't think relying on physics collision for hard stopping movement is often better. Sometimes they can get funky. I think move and slide should just work here. I think it already does ray casting if you're moving super fast. And also, if you clip outside of the world through like a real bug in the game, then yeah, you'd probably just reload from your save file. But yeah, I'll test this out. All right, so top boundary shape dot shape equals top rectangle, sure. And top boundary shape dot position is equal to, it's actually gonna be negative tile size, which I don't think we even have the tile size here. Oh, we do. And then the Y is also going to be negative tile size. Although this has to be based on the ground layer, right? Ground layer dot position dot X minus tile size. And ground layer dot position dot Y minus tile size. This is not correct either. What am I talking about? This has to be the bounds. Yeah, bounds dot X. Bounds dot position dot X, yeah. Okay, there we go. Delete all this and then add this. All right, great. So somehow you can set a debug color here. Where do we do that? Debug collision. There's a color somewhere. Where's the color? It's on the shape. Debug color's on shape. Okay. top boundary shape dot debug color equals colors dot red. Okay, I just want this one to be red so it's obvious. And I want to go into the house, which I think we started. You should knock them out and send them to a smash tower result screen. All right, so this should work as long as I load from Godot and not from Rider. Yeah, let's go try it. All right, I do not see a red rectangle here. Did this actually add this? Put a breakpoint. No, it didn't even try. Did I not call this function? Nope. Every once in a while, I impress myself with how little attention I'm paying. So yeah, what am I doing? Yeah, still, this is probably gonna work, but we can't see it unless we're in Godot. Hey, 9. So now it should be getting called, but it's not doing what it should. I don't think I'm missing something. No, I am missing something, right? Yes, I am. Top boundary dot add child top boundary shape. Yeah. All right, there. I've done it. Hey, nice. We did it. Okay, great. So now we need to set it to have the correct size, which for some reason I turned off the one thing that was setting the size of this. That's also funny. And that's it. Now it should just look good, right? And then we just make 3 more of those. Not quite. So its position, it's centered. So we need to move where it is positioned. So it's bounds dot position dot x minus, I guess, like plus bounds dot size dot x divided by 2. This has to be like the full width. And what is this? Vector 2. Okay, so width equals bounds dot size dot x plus tile size times 2. So we're going to do this plus width divided by 2. When we set its size, we got to put this here. Width. And height is going to be 1. So the height doesn't really matter where we put it, but I mean, we should still use the same thing that we have here. Bounds plus height divided by 2. And we could just make the height be the tile size, right? That way it's visible. But then its coordinate needs to be minus tile size. Yeah, same thing here though. Wait, is that a problem here? No. I just ran in the stupid way again. How many of these do I have running? All right. I expect this to be in the right position, and if it is, I can take my break, and yeah, it's off by a tiny bit. So here's what we have. And oh, I never subtracted tile size. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So now even if you dig a hole through the wall over here, you can walk through it, of course. But on top, this is a Y sorting problem. That's a real problem that's happening right there because I did not set the mask on this thing. Collision mask. Why is this not typing this out for me? Oh, because I need a comma. Mask is equal to 1, I believe. And that should work. And then I'll take a break. Yeah, first try. 70th try. All right, so just go over here, dig this out. We can still walk through it, Okay, that's not expected. Let me make sure I got these correct. Bit 0 masks with bit 1. I don't think this is how you're supposed to set these things. I'll have to try this out when I come back from the break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Hello again. Close the game. Hi, everybody. Okay, so where we left off is here, and this static body is getting added, but it is not taking effect the way I expect. Top boundary dot set collision mask. Set collision layer value. We want. I don't know if this is what we have to do. Set collision mask value. And I'll just write this here. And delete this, I guess. All right, does that work? And what's going on with this? Collision layer number must be between 1 and 32. Okay, so this is supposed to be set to 1 and this is supposed to be set to 2. Maybe that's why that was going wrong. Because I don't understand. No, it should just be bitwise ORing these values, right? All right, problem solved. So now you can't go outside of the top area. And if we actually load through here, you can see the red rectangle blocking us. Yeah. Although I think I did want this to be one tile higher up than it currently is. Yeah. So width is the bounds plus tile size times 2. Height is tile size. This is going to be wrong, isn't it? I should change the run shortcut to be F5. What is it right now? Command B? I don't even see that here. Run project. 5. Nice. Okay, so the width needs to be even 2 more tiles. Okay, there. I wonder if you can make the debug shapes visible when you launch outside of Godot. It's like, this is a checkbox over here. It probably just launches your game with a certain flag, right? Probably just do that myself. Yeah, that's perfect. All right. So now we got to genericize this. So let's make a, well, actually, this could be in some extension thing. I don't know. I'll just put it here for right now. So we'll say like add static body with rectangle shape. And we need a position and a size. And we're going to copy paste all of this. So instead of top boundary, this will just be boundary. The width and the height is just for setting the shape, the position, and the size. Yeah. This will be rectangle, and this will be shape. So position equals position. Size equals size. Debug color, sure. I actually don't want it to be that. Let's do colors.from HTML or something. Color.from HTML. Can you do from RGBA? No. All right. Well, I want it to be red, but I want it to be like somewhat opaque. So AA maybe. All right. Now we can delete all of this and just figure out the size. So this is new vector 2 with height. And then the position is this. Var position equals that. Var size equals that. Then delete all this stuff. And this 2. Okay. So if I go run this again, we should see a semi-transparent red rectangle in the exact same position we saw it before. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, now we do that for all of these. So the height would typically be this. And when we want to change this, I guess we just set the height to tile size. And size of width height I should probably change too. No easy way to show them outside of the editor. Yeah, it's too bad. So I'll say like, no, I'll just change this. What am I doing? Yeah. And I think we'll plug this in here too. And that way I don't maintain variables, so I can just call this 4 times. Delete all that. Yeah. Good. Okay. Height here is going to change to tile size and tile size. Survivor, wow, thank you for the gifted subs. That is very, very kind of you. And welcome in all you new subs. I think the Twitch sub picking logic should probably prioritize people who like chatted recently, maybe. Maybe it's based on watch time. Maybe it's not intended to be super smart. But yeah, I appreciate it. Very nice of you. It is fully a mystery. Antenna radiation tool needs work. Have fun and good luck today. Don't burn out too hard. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, no, today's been pretty chill. I've been pretty happy with this. Like, all I want to do is make some progress, and I just don't want to... I don't want to work too hard. I know that sounds bad, but, like, I don't want to burn out. I don't want to feel like, oh my God, I need my vacation going into it. I want to, like, slide into it. Yeah. Why does the naming convention have you use uppercase letters for functions? It's a convention. Yeah. I don't know if there's a particular reason behind it. And I think with a lot of this stuff, it can be almost arbitrary as long as you just follow the convention. But yeah, it's never bugged me in this case. The thing that bugs me more is that curly braces are on a new line. But at this point, I'm like, whatever, I'll just give in. I'll do it. All right. So this is the top boundary. Now the bottom boundary has pretty much the same thing, but it's just lower. So its position is going to be bounds dot position dot y plus bounds dot size dot y. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's go try that. Yeah. Hey, Grog. Okay, so I did not lower this enough. It needs to be... Oh, whoops, that was supposed to be a plus. That's why. Yeah. Easy. Okay, and then we just need the left and right sides. Yeah, so it's just a tiny bit too far down. Probably because this has to be a minus now. Although at that point, if I'm doing... Wait, is it off by half a tile? I can't tell. This will bring it closer. And it doesn't really matter. As long as it's not like super far out of bounds, I think we're fine. Yeah, there we go. Okay, perfect. Now we just need the left and right sides. So left boundary. Let's actually copy paste the top boundary. All right, so this one, we are basically going to swap what X and Y are doing here. So this will be X plus tile size divided by 2 minus tile size times 2. And then this will be Y plus height. And then we do this. And that should be an F. Okay, let's try that. Pretty good, yeah. And then we just put in the right boundary too. Easy peasy. Okay, so this one is going to be plus bounds dot size X minus tile size plus tile size times 2. And then this is the same, right? Yeah, that should be it. And now we have boxed in the world, so there is no escaping. Yeah, perfect. So if you try to go outside of this, you cannot. So this is as far over as you would get. You can try digging. It will, well, it'll actually dig over there apparently, but you can't go over there. And you could water that probably too. Yeah. And this should be true of every world. So if I go over here and increase my movement speed, you can't see because the camera stops you. But if we dig, we can go out of bounds by just 1 tile. That is fine because if you can't see yourself off the top of the screen, you'll just press down. But you can't move left outside of the world. Well, you can move left along the world, I guess. Oh, wait, because we're not digging outside of this at all, right? Oh, wait, that means that you could always have done this. Doesn't even require you to dig, right? What? Is it off by a tile? The ground layer stops here, and then this layer should be a wall. Did I mess this up? How do you find the exact thing that I used there? There it is. That one, physics layer. Yeah, it's set to the whole thing. Why is this not stopping you? I just use whatever the language is using, pretty much. That way all the tooling can just be out of the box. This is strange, but I don't know why this wasn't a problem already. Like, in the game, I can't go left out of the world, but I can go up out of the world by one tile. Is it because of my movement speed? Am I... That's strange. Can I go off the bottom of the world? No. And if I try to go off the right side, it thinks I'm going into town. But we can harvest some strawberries and then try to go into town. And now here, if I try moving off the top, well, I don't want to talk to you. I want to dig through the world. Yeah, you can go off by one tile here too. Why is that? Oh, it's a Y sorting problem, right? So I think you are colliding with something, although I don't know why we're not seeing your collision shape. I think you're colliding with it, but I think that your sprite is considered to be on the upper tile and you render behind it. So if we turn off Y sorting, I think you would show up. Let's prove that so that I'm not going crazy here. Let's just go to, where is this? Town. Environment, turn off Y sort. No, that doesn't do it. Maybe it's got to be in farming game. That still didn't do it. Oh, do I have two of these games open? No. Where's the player's not in here? Because they're in the zone. So the zone has player there. Can we turn off your Y sorting? You don't even need Y sorting. Maybe it's town that has it. Oh yeah, now I can see their feet. But they're still off screen. Why is that happening? Oh, there's no boundary up there. Oh. So it's probably if I change the camera. So here's the camera. If I turn off the limit. Yeah, so here's what's really happening. We're drawing this one tile outside. Okay, I see. Because the ground actually goes over to here. We need to stop it a tile sooner. But doesn't that mean we just drew the ground such that it actually expands out that far? No. What is this doing? Get used rectangle. Here it is. Yeah, this would imply that we're using this with a ground layer, but I don't see anything here. Yeah, I'm not deleting anything. Like here, I'm deleting something. Maybe if I turn off every other layer, it'd be obvious. No. Strange. Yeah, very strange. I don't understand that. It's not a problem going off the left side, though, is it? It must be. No, it's not a problem here. Oh, because of that. Ah, so it is a problem on the left side, too. Okay, I thought it was a problem in just one spot. Yeah, I just don't get why it's expanding beyond this by an extra tile. Unless that's what was happening in the house too. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. Oh, it was happening in the house. And I wasn't paying attention because I wanted you to be able to go outside the walls. But I don't want you to go outside the walls here. Yeah. Yeah, there's the issue. So we could allow you to dig here, but then not walk into the wall. So this is like, this is what would happen. It looked like you just can't walk there. I think for the house, we just add in a padding rectangle, which would give us the functionality we have now. But for everything else, we don't. Yeah, so we make some like protected int num tiles of boundary padding. Get set equals 0. And then from the house interior, we set this to 1. Oh, house interior inherits from base zone. Okay, we can't do that. I mean, we could export it. That would work. Export. But at that point, it can just be a private int, whatever. Okay. Now we go use that from over here. So tile size times 2. This is now supposed to be like 1 plus the padding. Padding equals tile size plus 1. No. Tile size times 1 plus the padding. So everywhere we have a tile size times 2 here, we should delete and change it with this. And I think this is still going to be off, but let's go test it. That's the null forgiving operator. I think I have a command for that, yeah. All right, so now I have drastically messed this up. Oh, I never set the same padding. We got to go do that. The town should have it in environment 1. This should work like how it did before, and then I probably just broke something else. No, it didn't. Huh, strange. What did I change? Tile size times 2. Strange. Does this work? Yeah, that's fine. What am I missing here then? Tile size times 1 plus this. There should be 1. Let's put a breakpoint there and find out if it is 1. Oh, wait, we're going to instantiate many of these. So one of them is going to be 1. That one is not. Because this is for something else. But if I hit play, we'll eventually find 1. Yeah, this one is 1. So this should be equal to 32, yes. So how could I possibly screw that up? How could I screw this up? This should be identical. Huh. I don't know what I could be doing wrong there. Unless I'm in the wrong scene. That's fine. I was just about to say that too. Unless I'm in the wrong scene. Yeah, here it should be 1. I know I'm messing up the formula for the other scenes, but at least the house should look the same. Yeah, so that probably would have been fine if I had actually launched it from Godot. There we go. Cool. So now what I want to do is I want to set it to 0 and make sure this is working still. So 0. So now this stuff is wrong. Let's just look at the top boundary. Let's get that one working. I think I'm just going to expand the size of the dock here. I don't tend to use Alt-Tab as much. So this is here, and now we just don't need the extra 2 tiles of size. So this plus tile size times 4 should be this 1 plus boundary padding. Padding in tiles is equal to this. Padding in tiles. So this is supposed to be this times 2. Yeah, this makes sense. And then we just gotta set this up here. And now we should have a border around the walls, like on top of the walls, I mean. Except for you can't see them when you do this, and I keep messing that up. Yep. Nice. Now we just plug in the other ones. Cool. All right, there we go. So we can set this back to 1. And now we shouldn't be able to go out of bounds on any of these. Let's go try it out. So if I increase the time scale and we go up here and I dig outside of the wall, we're still able to go out to here. Why is that? Yeah, I don't think that should be happening. We're about to reveal what's going wrong though. So normally the camera is limited, but we're about to unlimit it. Remote camera limit off. So why are we able to step outside here? I think this is that Y sorting problem. Yeah, because our character isn't actually going out of bounds. They're just rendering beneath the terrain. Because you can actually see them there. That's their head, I think. Which means that their feet haven't actually left the walkable area. Which probably means we should just set a z-index higher of that, right? Would that work? Cliff layer, ordering, z-index 1. That doesn't change anything. At least not right now. I gotta go unlimit the camera again. No, it doesn't change anything. Why is that happening? Why is that a -1? Still nothing, huh? Oh, this is after the dream. I'm not modifying the right scene. Man, I've been doing this a couple times already. There we go. Now you can see the player on top of them. But now you're behind the entire ground layer. I mean, I do think of this as a problem. Because this is not like a funny bug. This is just a bug. And it only happens with here because you're getting Y sorted based on where the world is. So you're showing up beneath the ground layer. I would love for that to not happen. You know what we could do? We could set a negative number of boundary tiles. So now it'll actually constrain you before you get there. But now you'll walk into an invisible boundary on the left side. So if I speed this up, you'll see a red wall before you actually get to the edge. Yeah. But it'll stop you from going up here. Which will also stop you from harvesting your crops, apparently. So I guess we can't really do that. Or we'd have to expand the ground if we did that and then change the camera limits and everything. All right, well, let's leave it like that for now. I think this is probably good enough. Yeah, let's go check this in. So what did I change? Yep. That's not needed. That's also not needed. And I changed the ground layer. What did I do here? Unfortunately, I don't recall. Let's just get rid of this, I guess. Couldn't have been that important, right? Okay, cool. So this is done. Disallow walking out too far out of bounds. Can you expand the ground layer another tile under the edge? Yeah, I can. And that should stop that. And I guess it's the easiest thing to do too. So we would just need to do it on the upper edge. Let's test it out really fast. There. That should do it. I hate to lose. Was it me deleting random tiles and undoing? It might have been, yeah. So now if we speed this up. Oh, now there's still the sorting problem. Oh no, now the boundary is one tile higher. So I think it's still this thing messing everything up. Getting sorted outside of this. Man. I'm not sure why this is happening anymore. If we turn this off, we see your character actually disappears when they get up to that point. Maybe this is happening for a different reason, and I'm not understanding this. You're just the Y sorting the walls. It's not a wall problem because I can turn those off and this still happens. There's something happening here that I don't understand. And if I turn off Y sorting on the whole game, well, that's weird. Doesn't actually help. Maybe it's because it's got to be over here. Strange. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so we're sorting you against something else. What is this something else? I guess we can just turn things off and find out. Well, the environment, presumably. Because, yeah, you're behind the environment. Does that mean we just don't want it on over here? And then shouldn't everything still work correctly anyway? No, it doesn't. Unless I turned it off in one other spot too. I did not know. All right, so it does have to be on over here, or else you don't show up behind these strawberry plants. Then when you go too high up, this happens. Is it the static bodies themselves? God, that'd be funny. No. Yeah, it's just the ground layer. You're showing up on top of the ground layer. Or below it, I mean. So the ground layer has a z-index of 0. If we turn on Y sorting there, it looks super broken. And yeah, that's it, right? I don't think I totally understand what's happening here. Like, my understanding of Y sorting is that it should be based on your origin and the other thing's origin, which maybe means that we're one tile too high. Like, our sprite's origin is actually wrong. It could be that. Yeah, if I change the origin over here, does that do anything? It's not technically an origin, it's an offset. Why would they show up behind this? Well, what's the player's position right now? Maybe it's negative. It is negative. Oh, then that explains it. So then, wait, couldn't we fix this by just making it extend one tile even higher up? If I just draw another rectangle like so. Where's the tool I want? There it is. Shouldn't this fix it? Because if so, that's a very easy solution. Now we try walking out of the world. And we hit a problem. Because the cliff layer is off. This is still Y sorting you with the cliff layer, right? No, you're still showing up beneath the ground somehow. That, oh, right, of course, yeah. Because Y sorting is based on the position of this. Okay, so we need to lower the world, not just do what I was doing there. All right, this is tedious. Yeah. Let me go look at that. Godot Y sorting. That's weird. How do we find the up-to-date documentation on this? Well, it exists on Node. Godot Node documentation. It might be Node 2D. It's got to be Node 2D. Visibility, sort. Doesn't it have to be? Is it on canvas item? Where does this come from? Canvas item. Okay, yeah, sure, fine. All right, if true, this and child canvas item nodes with a higher Y position are rendered in front of nodes with a lower Y position. With it enabled on a parent node but disabled on a child, the child is sorted but its children rendered together. And what do we have the player set to? The player is turned off. Yeah, so it renders as one unit. So this works weirdly around the origin. I wonder why. Because the entire environment is said to have one Y value? I mean, couldn't we address that by just moving the world down a bit? I think I already mentioned this, but if I just move this entire thing, environment, position. Is it moving the player when I do that? It is, because they're colliding with it. So they're moving farther down the scene. All right, this is probably not worth fixing for now, but I do think that's the problem. Where did I write about this? Y sorting. Nodes can still be Y sorted anywhere in the scene tree. Their common ancestors need Y sorting enabled. Origin points are not where you would expect. Hmm. Hmm. Tile map layer. We need it on a common ancestor. We want to render it all as one thing. Yeah, I think I already investigated this and I think I know what's going on. I think it's a little bit strange how this is functioning. But let's try just a little bit more because I want to make sure I'm not wrong about this. The environment, if I turn Y sorting off, it just doesn't render with you beneath the strawberries and stuff. So it's got to be the same thing over here too, right? Yeah. And then it's got to be the same thing over here. Yeah, so all of these need to have it on. I think what's probably more reasonable than what I was doing is to position their head to be the top of the sprite, I think. So like here we have the sprite. This is animating. We have a position, scale, skew. Sprites don't have a... Oh, there's a centered property. But we're still changing the Y coordinate, right? I think it's a waste of my time. Yeah, I think it's a waste of my time. Because the ground's position is 0, 0, even though you're placing tiles above it. Yeah, I think so. We should probably just search for this, like Y sort, tile map layer, origin. Maybe this, maybe this. It's not those. Yeah, it's going to be hard to find this. Yeah, it's going to be hard to find this. All right, let's give up on this for now. Roll back. Should I write this in my notes if I don't already have this? Tile map layer may have its position set to 0, 0. But it could still have tiles above that point, above or to the left of that point. A player on that tile map layer would likely appear behind the entire tile map in that case. So you start all your tile maps at 0, 0. The thing that's tough about this is like, what if you want to build your world upward after that? So like, let's say you have a really carefully crafted world. All this is working great. And you're like, oh man, we need a little whatever alcove over here. So you go and you draw it in. You're like, cool, we're good, right? And yeah, all of the physics of your game would work and everything. But then you'll break the rendering if you have Y sorting on. I guess you would move the whole node. Did I already try that? I don't know if I tried that. I think I wanted to and just didn't get it. So if I do this, now you can't. No, it's still not working. Your position is still negative? Position is 0.4. Oh, but now you're colliding with the cliff layer? No, you're not. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. I'm baffled. Crazy. Okay. Well, I already said it's not worth my time, so let's move on. Okay, this is a very easy fix we can do. Melissa. When that happens, see the town doctor NPC number 7. Okay. Move reference to remove the doctor's name. The problem here is that there's a lore reason behind characters having names, and it's that they're agents. Plus, I think it's funnier that I'll just leave it at that. Man, there's some idea that struck me like as I was waking up today that I wrote down on my phone. Let me see what it is. Oh, yeah. Okay. This one's funny to me. All right, so we had some ideas for games, and one of them was Maximum Chickens. And the idea for this game was that you would raise chickens on a farm. Like you get crops and everything, but the whole point would just be to like feed chickens. And the whole point of raising the chickens is for this joke. Did I make some shortcut for this? Yeah, that should work, right? Yeah, for this joke where in Zelda games, when you summon a bunch of chickens here, they have to attack you. So you're raising chickens to be able to attack another adventurer. And also in A Link to the Past, there was the Book of Medora, and it taught you how to read this like weird glyphed out text. Where is it? All right, I can't show this apparently. Well, anyway, it was outside of like the desert, Link to the Past, desert, temple text. I wanted to show this. Anyway, what I think would be funny is if you saw this garbled text, just imagine like an alien language or something. And in this game, you got the chicken Book of Medora, and it literally just translated everything to like cluck, 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 cluck. And maybe had some punctuation or something too. I think it'd be a funny little add-on joke. Well, that's for the distant future. All right, physics interpolation. I've been ignoring this for too long. Let's move this up the list. And then we got to work on sound design. I think those are the biggest things. Yeah. But I'm probably going to take an early lunch break today. So let's get physics interpolation working. This should be pretty simple. And I found out why I couldn't get this working the other day. So right now, if we launch a game, if I don't do anything, everything looks very jittery. Like our character is not moving smoothly. And let's not even start in this game. Yeah, let's not start in this game. Let's just turn this off and go over to flow control and start in the platformer, which thankfully I have a cheat for, so I don't need to restart the game. I can just do this. But yeah, this looks horrendous, right? It's like super choppy. Also, I did change the physics ticks just to show this. So you can actually go super far. Like, look at how far that dash takes you. Just because of how changing the physics ticks work. Which does mean that once you get to this section, you could try to make it over to there. But the invisible wall stops you anyway. So, yeah. Oh, what's that? Compilation errors. Oh, right. You can't just put a number sign in there. That was the last commit, right? Div last commit. Yeah, whoops. You have to put a backslash. Yeah, amend. Okay. So my issue is this, and this is what's very tricky about this. We have our game node, and that instantiates in the platformer game underneath it. But look at its parent. It is a control. And if you look at the physics interpolation value, it's off for controls. And it makes sense. You typically use controls for UI. You wouldn't want your UI to be like physics interpolated. There's no reason to do that. So it's just off. But that means that everything underneath it is also off. So what we have to do is we have to turn this one on, and that's it. And we're pretty much done. And now it should look smooth, I think. But it's also going to run at a lower tick count, but that I can go change very easily. Look at that. Beautiful. But yeah, we're moving super fast now. Got to fix that part. But that is dead simple. We just go into here and type tick. Click this one. Set this to 60. And everything should be back to normal. And if it's truly going to be this easy, then I really should have done this earlier. But I think we have a little bit more to do. Yeah. So now we're moving the way that we were normally moving. Everything looks buttery smooth. Now, it already looked this way for me because I had physics tick set to 60, and this is a 60 hertz monitor. But my other monitor is 100, and I have frame limit turned off. So actually, if I look at this over here, yeah, this is still smooth. I can't show you this because it's my other monitor. And also, even if I did, I'm streaming at 60 FPS, so it wouldn't make a difference. But it looks great. Great. Oh man, it looks even better because it's 100 hertz. So great. Okay. So yeah, let's try this area. What if we fall? Yeah, this is still fine. Oh, we are able to move slightly off the screen now. I think that's okay. I didn't really intend for that. But yeah. Okay, cool. Now what about the farming game? And what is that? Right there. Camera 2D overridden to physics process due to use of physics. Oh, whoops. I had a stashed set of changes over here, right? Can I see what these are? Yeah, this. I want this. How do I get this? Unshelve. Can I unshelve everything? Should I unshelve everything? Let's just unshelve that one for now. Does that work? Yes. Then that should be physics process. That's maybe sensible. I don't actually know. And didn't main do something here too? Yeah, I want to unshelve this. And then what else do we have? Just this thing? Process callback. I don't know if this is necessary. It's going to set it anyway for us. Yeah, we might as well do it. Unshelve that. Okay. Now let's go try running this again. So this would have changed things such that I do need to test this one more time. Is this still smooth and everything? Is it different somehow? I can't tell if it's different or if I'm making this up. Did that just move? Yeah, I can't tell. Well, it looks fine there. Let me try on the other monitor. I can't tell. You should probably test that out. Just set this back to process and see if it looks any different. It's just so difficult to see the difference. On my main monitor, it wouldn't have a difference because they're both 60 FPS. But on my other monitor, I would see a difference, right? I don't know. I just don't know. There might be one. There might not be one. I'd probably need to record this and look at it side by side. Yeah, I don't know. The camera's only updating on physics ticks anyway, so changing its position on a process tick shouldn't matter. Which would mean that on a 100 hertz monitor, we'd save 40 function calls, I guess, per second, which is nice. And if you're literally not going to see a difference, then yeah, it shouldn't matter. All right. Yeah, looks smooth to me. Okay, let's keep it. So that's the platformer game. Now let's go test the farming game. The easiest way to reveal physics interpolation problems is to set your tick count low. So let's go change to the farming game. And let's set this to... Oh, I keep doing that. Let's set this to something very low, 15. And then hit play. And see what happens here. So we're still moving smoothly, because we don't need to do anything special for physics interpolation, but any camera stuff might need to be special. Yeah, like that can't happen. We got to reset the position when we do that. But everything else looks pretty good. And what about on my other monitor? It's less obvious that this is running at 100 frames per second now because it's just a farming game. I think it's smoother when you're moving the camera, but yeah, there's really not much going on. So I just need to do, is there anything else? I need to do reset. No, we have a camera. We got to change the camera too. In fact, it should have printed an error, right? Yeah, this. Yeah. We're making two games at the same time. We're making a game called Stuck in a Broken Tutorial. And part of this game is that you go to different sub games and have to like break your way out of them. So this will probably be like more than 10 games by the end of this. That's going to take a lot of time to build up. Okay, so let's go into the farming game and change the camera over here to be on physics. Done. Then let's go change any of the code that modifies the camera. So I guess close everything, close this. Go to farming game and search for camera. And anywhere we set the position, this should now be in physics process. Anywhere else that we set it? There's reset smoothing. We need to do camera.reset physics interpolation. I don't know if we need both of these things. Do you need both of these things? I'm not sure. Anywhere else? Is that literally it? Really? So this just works? So it's like 5 lines of code. So now we transition over here. No, it's still doing that. Why is it doing that? Reset physics interpolation. This is when we call set current zone immediate, right? Yeah, what am I missing? Maybe reset smoothing and then the physics interpolation? I don't think that matters. Like leaving our house causes the camera to pan. Yeah, that shouldn't be happening though. Which suggests to me that the position it ends up here is not the same as the position it ends up in after you've transitioned games. So I don't care about the first one. That we can ignore. We step outside though, it breaks in again. The position is 425, 135. So now we go to physics process. 425, 135, right? Let me just type it out. Player.global position. Yeah, nice. Okay, now I hit the play button, and now it is the same. So what happened? It didn't move. So then why does the camera need to pan here? I think this means that we're running. Well, let me just do this. Camera.reset physics interpolation. This is not how this should work, but this will probably fix this. And I need to figure out, this might be running before the other one's running. That doesn't make any sense to me either, though. No, that didn't fix it. What? Yeah, what? There's no other camera 2D that I even have, is there? Camera 2D. No, I literally just have 2 cameras in the entire game. And I didn't make any other change here, did I? Delete shelved changes. Reset physics interpolation, yeah. And add is going to run. I'm just going to let it run because I'm going to probably take my lunch break like as soon as I'm done figuring this stuff out. This is in physics process. This is fine. We'll need to run through the whole game and test this out. This is fine. This is fine. Yeah. I don't see a problem. Yeah, I don't see a problem with this. And it's such an easy. Oh wait. Oh, maybe it's the world moving positions. Oh, I didn't think of that. It could be literally anything. Okay, okay. Now we're on to something. What else do we change the position of then? Nothing here, but that doesn't mean it's nothing everywhere. Could be set current zone immediate. Come on, we don't set a position anywhere? Copy path. RGI position. All right, so here's everywhere that we have position. Let's do position dot star equals. And then clear that out. Yeah, so here's everything. So farming player, this is for tool usage. This is for a rectangle, so that shouldn't matter. None of that stuff's visible. The tutorial man, that shouldn't matter. Farming game, I looked at both of those. That shouldn't matter. Strawberries aren't even coming into effect right now. This stuff shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. And that one probably technically does matter. Yeah. Why is this lagging all of a sudden? Reset physics interpolation. But that's not what's happening here. Are the maps different sizes? So same coordinates or a different location? So here's what's happening that we're seeing is the camera's panning and it's due to either position smoothing or physics interpolation. I guess we can figure out if it's physics interpolation by just turning off physics interpolation. So let's go test that. And if it no longer pans and we know it's that, which would mean that we just need to call reset physics interpolation at some point. No, it is still panning. So then it's possibly smoothing that's doing it. Well, that's not good. Yeah, that's not good. What if I turn off position smoothing? Does that fix this? It kind of does. There's still... Hey, you can see this thing like fading into existence over here. Man. It's a combination of these two things. And I still need to figure out exactly what's going on there. Maybe we just need to do them both when you make a new zone. We set the camera, we reset smoothing, we reset the physics interpolation. Apply camera limits. Oh, maybe it's this. Maybe we need to apply the camera limits first. I don't think that would do it. Yeah, it's either the environment moving or it's the camera moving. I think it's the camera. I don't know what I could be doing wrong though. Okay, I looked at every position. Is there some other way that we could change the position without doing this? Or is there something else I'm missing? In the farming game, we have all zones and current zone. These are the same transforms, right? Yes and yes. Okay, good. Yeah, they're both at the origin. So then there's this stuff, but we never move where the zone is. It's always 0, 0. We just move the camera, but I know where we move the camera. We could also find every single reference of the camera. I could just do this. Where's open in new thing, wherever that is? Show diagram. Open in this, yeah. Okay, so we can just look through every single one of these. Limit smoothed. What is that? Camera smoothly stops when reaches its limit. Why is that even there? Okay. see a problem. Yeah, I don't see a problem. This shouldn't be this puzzling, though. There's so little at play here. Well, okay, if I move around in the world, even if I move at like 2x speed here, right? Everything should still look smooth. Yeah, this is all fine. It's only when you zone to another place. Okay, so let's try this then. Let's go over to the edge of the world, and let's set this back to 1x. Yeah, even going from the town, it's shifting. All we're doing is moving the camera, right? Hey, Creighton. Is in default position 0, 0 in the farm scene. So when the scene becomes active, it interpolates from 0, 0 toward the player position. It shouldn't do any interpolation though, because when the scene becomes active, we call this reset physics interpolation. So instead of it sliding there, it should just immediately move. The only other thing I could think, let's turn this off because it's the only place where we're not doing this. So now the camera won't follow the player, but when you move into a different scene, it should still follow them. Because maybe the problem is that, I don't know, maybe some race condition between this and the other one. Hey, Mooncakes. Add a loading screen. Oh, whoops. Did I not actually start this? No, it's still a problem. That's the only place I even move the camera. Okay, so what if we just don't move the camera ever? Yeah, let's try that. Because it's got to be coming from somewhere else. So now we never move it. So now if we see something wonky happening. Okay, that's bizarre. So this implies that it's not a camera problem? That the actual environment is moving? Is it just by putting something in the scene tree when it was paused and now it's not paused? What does this do? I don't see anything here that moves a position. Not that I would, because I already grepped for the entire code base. Okay, well, let's try, I don't know, current zone dot reset physics interpolation. Maybe just adding it to the scene tree is causing it to happen because there was some position that was already set somewhere. I don't know. No, it's not that. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. What's moving? Yeah, what's even moving? Current issue. Zoning in or out of the house causes obvious movement. Wait. Turn off position smoothing altogether. Let's try that. Does that fix this? Because it's one of the two things. It has to be one of those two things. So now there is no problem. But what is it? It's only when I have smoothing on, but what is it even smoothing? It would imply there has to be movement. I think it's literally just that the limit changed. I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, how about let's try something else here. Let's try just camera. Yeah, they're all in the same file. So I don't even need to do this through the terminal. We can just do it through here. There's no position setting. The limit could ostensibly do it. So let's just comment out all this code too. So smoothing should be on. It is. And now that we never say, yeah, so it is caused by the limit. That is a crying shame. Also restart the IDE because it's getting really slow for some reason. I don't know why this is so slow. So changing the limit when smoothing is enabled causes a problem. The reason I don't think this makes sense is because we set the limit and then we immediately call reset smoothing. So it must be that something happens on the next frame. Like the camera sees that it's not within the limits. So it shifts itself into the limits and that applies position smoothing. It has to be that as the explanation. There's no other explanation. Problem has to be that the camera is no longer within the limits. And since position smoothing is on, it moves so that it's within the limits. The reason I can't make sense of that is because we set this to the player position and the player is guaranteed to be within the limits. If I cut this out, this is just fixed. No. Well, that implies it's not a limit problem. I can't narrow this down. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What other pieces are in play here? Wait, when I have both of these things off, I guess then the camera's not moving at all. So it is camera movement. There's just something that's not resetting it correctly. Maybe, yeah, maybe it's that. Because yeah, here there is no movement whatsoever. And when we move it, maybe we just don't call reset smoothing. Maybe these two things are fighting each other. That'd be kind of funny. It's not that. And it can't be that we don't call reset physics interpolation because we just teleported the camera, right? I'm just testing some like basic assumptions now. Yeah. Why would this not work? Maybe it's not a thing. Camera 2D reset physics interpolation. Reset smoothing not functioning with physics interpolation. I don't see an ongoing issue here for this. Triggers editor and runtime errors. Do we just not interpolate the camera? Does that even make sense? Off. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. Wait a second. So what does this mean? What does this mean for the for the platformer game? No, the platformer game has it interpolated. We'd have to turn it off here too. So you just shouldn't physics interpolate cameras? I need to still think whether that even makes sense. No, that looks terrible. Why? Huh. Maybe we just turn it off when we're switching scenes. Why does it even look good for the farming game then? Yeah, how does that make any sense? Because I'm never moving the camera? That's probably why. Of course it's going to look good when nothing's moving it. So as soon as I do this, it's going to start to look bad again, right? And it should be like obviously bad and jittery. Not in the house. But yeah, here. Yeah, it looks terrible. Yeah, so we need this to be on. But yeah, we know that this is coming from physics interpolation. And I just can't stop it. Like reset isn't working in the case I expect it to. Is there something else I'm missing maybe? I don't know. How about we just print out the position? Position after setting current zone. Camera dot position. And then in physics process, say position after in physics process. How about that? Physics process. All right, so it's going to be very spammy. So I basically just want to zone out of here and then stop the game. Yeah, no, the position never changes. So the camera position is set in the same place every time, but you can see it shift. And does this make sense, the direction that we're seeing it move in? Because originally on the prior scene, it was 3788. Yes, that does make sense. It's moving in the right direction as though it was teleporting in the world. But the entire point of reset physics interpolation is to stop that. So why isn't that working? Let's go find out. Reset physics interpolation. Good dough. Did they mention anything about a camera here? Only camera 3D. Most of the time, interpolation of what you want between two physics ticks. However, there's one situation in which it may not be what you want. We're initially placing objects and moving them to a new location. Call reset physics interpolation function. So under the hood is set the internally stored previous transform to be the current one. Yeah, resulting in no movement. All right, I don't know. I mean, the prints aren't helpful here. I just can't think of what else I would need to do. The camera doesn't change, does it? No, we just have the one camera, and it's always the same, and it's in farming game. All right, do I have notes on this? Some signals are event only happen. Frequency of physics ticks. Synchronizing a camera with an interpolated node. You have a node moving through your game world. You want the camera to stay fixed on their position. Position smoothing. Why would I say that the camera wouldn't operate with physics interpolation? I guess there's a player controlled camera. I think that's the problem. Does it need to skip the first physics process after setting it? Or is doing some internal resetting? If I just turn off physics process entirely, like I just cut this out, you still see this happen. So it can't be that it just needs to skip one, because skipping all of them still makes this happen. It's just this very problem is what reset physics interpolation was made for. And I'm calling it, and it's just not doing what I expect. I wonder if calling it on the root of the scene matters. I don't know why that would be the case. That's not actually technically the root, but it's the root of this game. No, that has no input. Hey JD, what's the title in reference to? I just wanted to take today a little bit easier than normal. I worked on the game quite a lot yesterday after the stream. We got some pretty nice things now. So there's a cheat menu in the game. So if I press in the right stick, we can do things like deplete energy. I could skip to a different game entirely. I can teleport to places within that game. So this is really cool. I have, well, I can't show this easily, but yeah, on the title screen, there's some new features and stuff. Slow is fast and fast is slow. Yes, exactly. The hare didn't know what hit him. So now we're trying to figure out a bug that I just can't seem to make progress on. Yeah. Let's search for this. Camera, 2D, physics, interpolation, teleport. I don't know. It's not even as jittering. What if, okay, this is something I didn't try, but what if I try raising the tick count back up to 60? Because I have it intentionally set very low right now. Maybe that's the problem. That doesn't make any sense either, though. There should be no movement whatsoever. So that might just be less obvious, but yeah, it's still happening. In fact, it's not even less obvious. It's the exact same. All right, I don't have any ideas. I'm going to just ask AI. Let's see what happens. All right, so what do we say here? So in farming game.cs, I moved the camera and then reset its physics interpolation. However, yeah, however, despite resetting its physics interpolation, it still pans between its location in the old zone and the location. I'll just say position twice in the new one. Why is this happening? Yeah, I just cannot solve this myself for some reason. And I'll just say there's no need to write code. Just need, well, actually, I don't really care about the right code. But let's have it ask for permissions. This is, before I started working on this game, I've been working on Skeleseller, and I said, oh man, after 2 years of working on this game, I've learned so much about Godot, and these are the kinds of things that should go faster in the future. And maybe this is faster than it would have been, but I have knowledge on this topic. I know how you're supposed to fix this, but it's not doing what I expect. So there's some assumption that I'm making that's wrong, and I can't identify it. I can't isolate what it is. There's no higher level here than the farming game, right? Like main isn't changing things. It shouldn't be. Should be delegating everything to farming game. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna wait for this for now. I have nothing else in my notes about this. What other things do I have here? In 2D, you don't need to do this when a node enters the scene tree, only if you position it through code right after doing that. Hmm. Yeah, I I don't have any explanation. I mean, for all I know, this is a Godot bug. I don't think it is. Camera, 2D, physics interpolation. Yeah, I don't think it is. And it's always really hard to find these because there's like, 300 issues that just popped up. It could be one that was fixed. It could be one that's still open. I might just not be on the newest version that has, yeah, whatever this is. What's the reset supposed to do? So let me do a little primer here on what this is. So let's say you have a little character moving and you just set them to move in a constant direction in this way. You might have your physics tick rate at something like 15 times per second, but your frame rate might be something like 240, right? You have like a really nice monitor. You wouldn't want to see the character like jitter its way across the screen. So what you do is you update every whatever that is, like 1/6 of a second, I guess. Or 1/15 of a second. What am I talking about? 1/15 of a second, you move the position, and then to fill in those gaps that would happen from the jittering, you would interpolate just the position between when it was last rendered and where it's currently supposed to be. So that way it'll move smoothly. When you teleport a character, so let's say like I want to immediately move them over to here, you don't want them to think, oh, I just moved here in one of my ticks. So now in the rest of the, the difference between the frame rate and the physics ticks, I don't want them to slide over there really fast. So instead you call reset interpolation and it'll just warp them there. So that's what the reset is supposed to do. And presumably, I don't know, maybe it's working on a camera, but something else is moving. I don't see any other movement though. Or it's not working on the camera, or yeah, I'm doing something else wrong. We're throwing this AI to see if it can weed through the issues given the context from your code base. Yeah, so right now I just asked it like, why is this happening? And we'll see. Maybe it prints something out that's interesting, maybe not. But yeah, could be something like this. Yeah, I don't know. And there's just too many issues here to look through. Is the object showing? Like, am I doing this? It's the camera. It's not the object that's showing. It's the camera. And the player position doesn't change. Because that is actually something that I could have messed up. But I think I turned off physics process anyway. I have it on right now, but it doesn't really matter. Well, let me leave this because AI is probably looking over this code right now. Man. I'm so curious to know what the answer to this is. And I guess worst case scenario, I make a minimal repro and I post about it somewhere. Let me think through this one more time. We have a zone over here and a zone that's in current zone. And we basically swap the two. The camera is always in the same spot. And we go from pointing at the player in zone A to pointing in the player in zone B. So all of a sudden, the environment gets instantiated in here. And it's never been in the scene. No, it's been in the scene tree before. I mean, I have some other ideas here. I've probably tried them all at this point. Set current zone. nothing's moving over here. All right, I don't know. Camera's position is actually updated in the physics tick, and it's told to not interpolate, but it still interpolates. So if I cut out what's happening in the physics tick altogether, let's say why is this finding everything? Yeah, there we go. So if I cut this out and I run the game, this still happens. We have literally one spot in the code where we're changing the camera, and we are calling reset physics interpolation right after it. And you see this sliding effect happen. All right, so let's see. Looking at the code. The pan is from position smoothing enabled, not from physics interpolation. Interesting. Make the actual zone swap happen inside a physics tick. I didn't even think about that. All right, let's go find out. So we have a tween that is supposed to change the game. Where is that? Here it is. Set current zone with fade. So here we go. Tween. We want to do fade screen dot set process mode to process mode dot physics. What do you? How do you? No, not set process mode. Set. I forget what this is called. It's some kind of mode. Yeah, it's this. Well, what do you pass in? Tween process mode. Okay, tween process mode dot physics. Got it. This fixes it. I'm almost gonna be mad. That I guess I'll have better notes. No, that does not fix it on its own. And that should modify the entire tween, right? Let's do the camera smoothing. I wonder, we can pass in an existing tween. Tween equals create tween, set process mode, physics. And then fade screen. Oh, no, it just makes a new tween anyway. All right, well, for now, how about this? Let's delete that. Let's have this set as process mode in here. It probably won't make a difference. But that way we can know for sure that we're not just doing it with a callback, although that shouldn't really matter either. No, it's still doing this. But the thing about smoothing being on, didn't I turn this off and it still happened? Because if so, this could just be AI hallucinating. So now it's fine, but what if I turn this off? Could have sworn I tried this already. Did I not try this already? So yeah, it's correct that it is due to smoothing. I don't know what I'm missing still. What if I do reset smoothing inside a physics process? That should make zoning crisp now. No, it doesn't still. Oh no, it does. It's just after it's got to hit one frame of physics, I think. It's not smoothly sliding there now. It's like abruptly sliding. Which means something probably is happening on idle, but that had to be a different tween, right? I guess let's search for create tween. Zoom camera out and in. This stuff doesn't even happen. I mean, I hope this doesn't happen. But it shouldn't. Then we have fade screen. and the music player one, and that's it. Yeah, so we'll call zoom camera out. It should just be a cutscene that does this. Yeah, it is just a cutscene. So we search for this, we find it in a scene file, right? We find it in a dialogue handler. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the only tween we have that we haven't done this for is this one. I think I should probably just take my break and come back to this in the afternoon. I can't believe I can't figure this out right now. Whoa, that like super messes up. What? Yeah, what? Hey, Laxton. I think I did this as it was still moving so it could never reach its target. No, it's just like jittering out of control. That's weird. Right? The camera's not moving at all right now, no matter what I do. But if I set it to a time scale of 8, no, it probably amplified whatever tiny amount of movement was still happening. So like it's still moving. It looks like it's done, but it's not really done. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. So if I wait long enough, if I leave here, I wait for it to fully stop. So like now, and then I do this, it shouldn't cause a problem. Yeah, that's what's going on. Oh wait, no. Maybe it's still moving. I don't know. Maybe it never hits its target. But I mean, the way we'd solve this anyway is just by doing this. Yeah, so it's some position smoothing thing. Oh no, it just slides off the screen. Just goodbye. I'm not gonna pay attention where you are anymore. A time scale of 4 doesn't cause that to happen. Time scale of 8 does. You just lose the player completely. What other changes have I made so far? It's funny how this is totally fine for the platformer game. Yeah, I don't see any issues. Oh, wait, I also have physics tick set to 15. That might be part of why I'm seeing. Why is this set? Did I turn that off? That's in a different game, so it can't matter here. This might matter, I don't know. All right, I'll set the physics ticks back up to 60. I hope that problem doesn't happen where I think it's because if you're running at 15 times per second and then you're trying to run at 8x speed, I don't know if it makes physics also run at 8x. Does it increase your effective tick rate? Also, this bug is not the end of the world that it's sliding in those zones, but it does look kind of stupid. Yeah. All right. Well, I think what we should probably do is take a break. So where I left off, I want to check in what I have so far, even though it's not working, and then figure out what in the world is going on. We got to this bug isn't that bad stage. Tween callback, which fires during idle processing. When does this usage reset? In an hour? In the actual zone swap happen inside a physics tick, not from idle tween. All right, so I changed the zone swap so that it happens inside a physics tick, but I'm still seeing the behavior. Is there something else I'm missing? Hey, great one. Time to add a longer fade in and fade out to cover the camera movement. Yeah, I'll look at this after lunch. Man, I don't mind if we get this done and then some sound design. But yeah, after this, I need to do some sound design. There are a lot of actions that don't have sounds, or in the case of stepping on stones, don't have the correct sounds. But otherwise, this is probably pretty good. I should also test the whole game with physics interpolation on. I had this on my list somewhere, didn't I? Yeah. All right, well, thank you all for watching. I'm going to go take a break. I think I will be back for an afternoon stream. Probably in about an hour or so. We'll hopefully figure out this problem. Some next smoothing destination being set earlier in the frame. Then even though you reset it, it ends up using the new one or something. Yeah, I don't know. I truly don't know. But going back to this for a sec, I had asked AI a question and didn't look at the answer yet. All right, well, I'll be back in a bit. Thank you all for being here. Actually, you know what I should be sharing is the Skeleseller link. Oh, hey. That doesn't work. I guess I'll fix that too at some point. Fix Skeleseller command. It's an alias to something else, but should link to Steam with a description of the game. Okay, goodbye everybody. I will see you shortly. Thank you for watching.